StarCraft. And I'll be right back, guys. I'll be a few minutes and I'll be back. Hello guys, just need 2 or 3. I'm just gonna put 3 more minutes on the timer, and then we're gonna be good to go. Okay. Thank you for a little bit of patience as we switch events. Thank you, and I'll see you guys soon for OSC Championship action. Okay, everybody. Hello, welcome to the OSC Championship stream. Thank you for joining us. We're pretty much ready to kick off into some games. Hope you're all feeling great. First time I'm on camera today. I know. I don't like going on camera, GMOs. I just, when we're using a clean feed, I just don't like swapping from the clean feed to me. I just don't feel like it really is necessary, I guess. So, yeah, I never really do that. So, yeah. Hello. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you for joining us, like I say. We're going to be kicking off into some StarCraft 2 action. We're going to be going into a few more matchups. There's Mad Alien, thank you for level 75 on the Royal match. We've got more action from the lower bracket of the OSC Championship. Crispier on the level 125. Amazing. So there's our bracket so far in the winner's bracket. We're not going to be seeing much of that today. But Hero versus Skillers, Maxpax versus Kira, Galt versus Chris Yenshin versus Clem. Today we're going to be doing more of this lower bracket. We're going to be doing Forjumi versus Arogfire, Baby Marine versus Mixu, Art versus Spirit, the winner versus Young Yakov, and also Solo versus Rebellion. So making another dent into that into that lower bracket of today's OSC Championship. We had a bunch of people coming through with the other things, huh? Let me check that out. Loads of sponsorship stuff coming through. Someone reached level 600 2 hours ago. What's going on? Absolute gamer. Alright, thank you so much, guys, if you've been playing the World Match. A bunch of different names popping up and stuff. Thank you so much. Be a couple more coming through. I think a level 600 one's about to pop. That's crazy. So yes, thank you so much if you've been checking out the sponsor. As, yeah, we're going to go and get into some StarCraft 2. So without further ado, I'm showing you guys the bracket. Excited to get into some OSC action. Hopefully you guys are excited to follow into some OSC action as well. Let's go into some PvP. It's for Jumi versus Arogfire. I guess our matchups today are what? PvP, some TVZ, some TVP, ZVTOP, and PVZ. Pretty good mix of matchups today, actually. So, yeah. Let's get this going. Let's get this started. Again, appreciate you all tuning in. Let's get into some StarCraft 2 as we start off this first best of 5. In the top left corner of the map with 4 Jumi, taking on in the bottom right our blue Protoss player Arogfire. Game one of this best of 5 as we get up underway and we look to see what will happen. Look to see what will happen. Put some music on, shall we? How's that, Proby? I'm just going to be coming across. Get set up for a few moments. And you can see what kind of PvP we're going to have in store for us here, because I think there's a pretty good chance we get some pretty interesting PvP coming up in the early minutes. So yeah, we got 2 gates up each. Actually, pretty fun matchup. I don't know who to favor. I think both these guys are pretty good. I really do think it's a good match to watch. Entertaining one to start us off on the OSC Championship today. Jumi will throw a pylon down to the bottom side of the map. There's a couple of probes chase each other about as well. And we will just see Stalker Sentry versus Stalker Sentry here, with Warp Gate building on both sides. And away we will go. Probe of Arogfire coming around the bottom. Let's see a probe and all the way back home. Mostly going to be a pretty passive opening because it's just hallucinations to begin with here. So, yeah, not really much kind of action on the map or anything like that, I think, in these first few minutes, especially because they're mirroring each other too. Looks like we're just going to get a comfortable expansion off. Of course, we can start to talk about the differences of a Blink versus a Robo Facility. So that will be coming up right now. Probably cancel building up. So we're going to have the faster Robo from Jumi. We're going to have the faster Blink from Arogfire. Already puts you into an interesting comparison between these two. Twilight Council coming in. Mortal is coming up. Obviously, the Immortals are going to be your advantage off that Robo facility, being able to get into a lot from there. That's going to be the idea of this, is just have Claves coming through, the Immortal coming up, Stalkers and the Sentry coming across the map as well for now. Couple Stalkers going to fire it up. Some damage being done. We do have that Glaives, that Immortal, all continuing through for the moment. Sentry will fall. The Immortal and the Stalkers going to come about as well. Seeing a couple more probes coming in, on in here, and Arogfire just holding the pressure, doing what you should do when you have that blink advantage, which is just holding map control and just going from there, basically. Stepping forward to grab a Stalker. On the other side, a few more Stalkers warping in. Fujimi at least will get a couple of Adepts on the other side of the map, able to apply a little bit more pressure as well. Again, there's a little bit more being done, as the Immortals are going to be there, pushing back the other way. A couple of Adepts are going to be here. A couple of Probes already going down. 2 workers, 3 workers. Coming at 4. Not bad for the Adepts. And forces the recall, so you actually stop a lot of the Stalker pressure on the other side of the map from, staying present here. I think that's got a lot to do with... That's definitely a big benefit as well, right? Immortal is very powerful, and with the backup of Resonating Glaive Adepts, I have a pretty good push forward here, I think, from Fujimi, although gifting a few units away before you really get started is not ideal. I don't hate the idea here either, going to go around the right-hand side. Playing Grezvan, which, if you didn't know, is part of the OSC extended map pool. If you're on Twitch, you can ! OSC maps and find out more about that. Adepts warping in, Dark Shrine coming up. Couple force fields going down. Stalkers blinking over, Sentries gathering. One Immortal going down already, a couple of Adepts getting picked off. This army just poking around at the front. There go the Adepts again. Going to try and threaten a shade, and obviously that's something you can do right now, just threaten the potential of shading through. Keep your opponent on edge. It's Arogfire, though, across the map, who's got himself some more damage being done. He's got Adepts in the main base. And they go for 7, 8 workers, still not being dealt with. Very quickly, at least. Stalker's going to step up. That's a good couple of force field. Those Adepts going to get completely caught. Ouchies. That's going to hurt as the Adepts continue down to the bottom right now. They're going to get into the natural. There we go. Just going to be seeing those Stalkers coming back across. The Adepts going to take some hits. Come back the other way. I mean, there's a lot of probes going down. I mean, Arogfire cannot stop these Adepts from just dealing worker damage. And Mortals in the main base are going to be a good distraction as well. Even warping to DT to mix this up a little bit. I got to say, I love a lot of what's happening right here. You get 27 workers. Fujumi's down way down on army supply, but maybe harassment like this can do enough to bring you back in the game. I think there's a fairly reasonable chance of that, as some probes pull back as well. The Adepts from Fujimi are going to step across toward the center of the map and figure out what it is that they might try to do here over the next few minutes. "36 workers is a lot, so yeah, I mean, Arogfire loses so much economy. He is still a 3-base Protoss, though, to the 2 bases of Fujimi, so keep that in mind. That is very likely a factor, as obviously you can rebuild 3 probes at a time, so he's actually going to stay equal on worker count. So Arogfire probably still maintains the advantage, and plus Stalkers are extremely good as the game goes on still, too, so Definitely some benefits there. Stalker's just going to come across that left side. Just going to take a few more shots. Depth's taking damage as well. Force Field's is going to drop straight down. Guardian Shield is going to pop up. The Observers are going to step forward. A couple of Force Fields coming down again. And we will see those Adepts continue to drop. Workers going down right now as well. Slow Workers going down once again. Just Arogfire still in some trouble here. These double Immortals are going to do a lot, and we're actually going to try and get the Prism. Prism's going to die before the Warp in. Means the Immortals are abandoned here as well. No recall out, and so those Immortals will go down for Fujumi. I fear that is going to put him into a rough position. The recall is no good on the Immortal. A bit too late there. Other things going on, but this does start to look very much so as though it's Arogfire's game, because one of the big advantages you had as Fujumi has just gone. The Prism and the two Immortals were a big factor. They're not there anymore. Stalker's just gathering again. Prism and the Archons continue up. Stalker's into the main base. It's going to drop a pylon down. Again, Prism and the Archons still coming through as well. As the Stalkers do recall. Yeah, this army coming forward one more time. Away we go. Coming around that right side again. Stalker's gathering up. Sentry's getting going as well. A couple more DTs in the Sentry. Building for the moment. Additional Warpins getting up as well. The Guardian Shield, and we are going to be seeing a couple Force Fields get blasted immediately because of the Archons. So that's not going to do too much. I mean, Jumi is, considering he's still on 2 bases, making a pretty good go of this, no? I mean, he's on a respectable army supply. I mean, I look at these armies, I'm like, 2 more Archons, 5 more Mortals. It's the difference of Stalkers versus Adepts. Like, if this was Zealots, actually, even I think at this point, I'd like it. Comes around the bottom. Charge coming up. Nexus and the Forge coming through as well. The army of Jumi retreating back to the upper left-hand side. Oh, there goes the Prism. So I think Fujumi just should have sent it, but the stack defense makes it a major issue. The problem is if your opponent's building all that stack defense, you got to do something yourself, but you're down 20 workers. It's almost too late to expand. Stalkers pulled back down into the bottom. +2 attack starting up. +1 attack charge all on the way in. Immortal, Robo Bay, Nexus. Building through here. We got the battery on the way. These Adepts are negotiating. The rest of this army from Arogfire collecting into the center here currently. Hallucination is going to step on through. The Prism going to unload. You have on the far right hand side that group of Adepts are going to gather up as well, so they're just going to join in for now. Get a grab. Again, the rest of these units from Fujumi still selecting together. Adepts going to try and shade through as well. The Zealot, the Stalker's going to get there. Adepts are going to get blocked. A couple more units continue to come through as we continue to play the recall game. Else still gathering. We reset here a little bit. Regather in the center, just going to be having the, again, Disruptor, the +1 attack coming through. +2 attack coming in on the side of Arogfire as well. Robo Bay. Robo Facility. Continue to come up. Well, the Disruptor's still building here from Fujumi. We do have cannons and the Robo Bay coming online. The batteries are going to produce. Archons are going to go straight in for some of these probes. So a few workers going down. Going to get 2, going to get 3, 4. Doing a decent job there to begin with. Person gets up into the main. Just going to be sitting there for the moment. Seven workers going down. The rest of the army still stepping up. Stalker, Zealot, Archon pushing through. Disruptor shot. It's going to land. A few Stalkers going down. The rest of the Adepts still continue to fight. I mean, Arogfire unable to break up this round. Fujumi's, I mean, to be fair, Fujumi's army is just good, right? When we look at it, it has always been good. And the addition of Disruptors is only improving that. I think Arogfire is correct to have taken a 4th base. I wouldn't even mind him taking a 5th base already. He's got a lot of control in this game still. Losing that prism does take a little bit of that away, unfortunately. Army comes over that right-hand side. Next is still building online. We do have +2 attack, Blink, Disruptor building right now. We have on the left side the Adept and the Zealot going to fight against each other. So a little bit of back and forth right there. Still got the prism, still got the Observer being brought into play. Probes are going to go and transfer more of this army from Fujumi, setting up in the middle of the map as well. Disruptor shot leads a charge in toward a couple of Zealots. Then we have +2 attack coming through on the Forge. A couple of batteries and pylons coming over as well. Stalker Disruptor still moving over. I'm just again going to be seeing that +2 attack coming up as well. It's just got the Archons also coming around. Just going to be seeing the left-hand side. The Zealots coming over. Probes are going to be dropping. Nice attack from Arogfire, because even if you're just kind of hitting that base for all those Zealots, with all those Zealots, that works. Now into the main base, and the thing is, Fujumi doesn't have the money to rebuild a warp in. That's enough to deal with these units alone. So you're going to need more than just a warp, and you actually have to pull units back, and that maybe weakens your main army. That maybe gives Arogfire the chance to make a play now. So let's come back over. As Arogfire tries to press up, I mean, no! Jimmy doesn't even stay in it after the Disruptor shot. I respect the insta GG. Kind of a frustrating one for Fujumi. It was a game I think he's behind him, but actually ends up in a pretty good army position. And his army quality is very good, but still can't attack across the map. And then Arogfire has enough stuff to just fling around the map in return, I suppose. GG's. And Arogfire going to grab a pretty contested game number 1. I'm excited to see the rest of these matches, because I do think, considering how that game started and it ended up kind of close, I think we've got a series on our hands. I think we've got a bit of back and forth. Nice multitasking pleb. Jimmy, I know it's not going to make you feel any better, but it happens to the best of us. As an expert in taking disruptor shots I'm not looking at, I can assure you it'll not be the first or last time. Gonna go Romanticide for map number 2. They're playing all the old maps to start off this series. As we kick off into game number 2. In the top left-hand side, playing the green, it is Fujumi. He is down a game, but I do think had some good opportunities to fight back. And definitely made a game out of something that probably wasn't meant to be a game after the opening did not. Completely work in his favor. Bottom right-hand side, the blue Protoss player is Arogfire. Well, gate's coming up, Assimila's getting going. Just going to be seeing the Chrono Boost coming through. Probes heading across the map. Probe just gonna be nibbling. I see some shots coming through. Cybercore's coming about. Gate's getting going. Probes will build. Let's just see units moving about. Early game scouting going down. At least early stages. The probe's moving about, and the probe coming over. Next coming through, Twilight Council building. Next on both sides. Couple sentries coming over as well as the hallucination from Arogfire comes around the top. Nexus Gateway Robo Facility coming up. Blink on the way through. Warp Gate coming over. Just going to be seeing the sentries and the Stalker gathering up. As our Nexus is about to finish. And a couple of probes coming over. So, just going to get this up and rolling. And again, get that Blink on the way from Arogfire, while Fujimi prefers the Robo opening to start us off. Sentry Stalker coming down the bottom right hand side. The hallucinated prism going to be coming across. Just going to be seeing again the Stalker Sentry, the Blink all coming through. Gate and the batteries coming online. A couple more Stalkers and the Zealots. It's going to get warped in. Is Fujimi going to take a step up this ramp? One probe goes down already. Stalkers going to continue to set up. I mean, there's a lot of force fields available. I like what Fujimi has numbers wise. Blink about to be done from Arogfire. How many Stalkers do we kill before Blink is done? There's only going to be 3 Stalkers right now. They don't have the damage to really go after the Prism. Prism will be careful and step back, which I think is smart. And Guardian Shield fading. A lot more Stalkers now. The problem is now you're going to be outnumbered. The Prism is going to get target fired. There's a Blink back available. As Nexus comes up on the third base of Fujimi. So he'll get that going, but it's going to be difficult to survive against Blink. Now, he does actually have an army supply advantage, so we'll see if that's going to be good enough. Obviously, the Blink Stalkers just find so much efficiency and so many good trades. That's going to be where your problem comes from. That's going to be the question mark of, can you deal with this? Can you handle that? And those are going to be pretty difficult questions, to be fair, as the Sentry Stalker recalls away back to the upper left-hand side. And recall to the upper left. Nexus still coming down from both players to get this underway. Battery coming through. Stalkers are moving and grooving. Stalker will shoot. Immortal is going to be dropping down. Force fields will drop into place. Focus around that right-hand side. Again, the Nexus finishing up. +1 attack coming through. Immortal producing. And Twilight Council going to be on the way as the gateway will complete. And again, the rest of this army from Fujumi still sitting on the third base for the moment. Stalkers will step in toward the third. A sentry or two gathering up. A couple of Immortals are going to fire. Stalkers pull back. Just come back through again. +1 attack. Charge coming in. Dark Shrine coming about as well. We've seen them all just going to be hitting a Stalker already. Probes is going to get picked away at. I mean, Guardian Shield is up. A few probes going down. You have Adepts in the main base. Arogfire doing some damage. He's still down a lot of army supply, and as Jimmy this game moves into +1 in charge, I love the Dark Shrine coming up as well. Just good harassing potential for Fujumi coming into play right now as Arogfire unable to really do much poking at the front initially. Stalkers, Immortal coming across, a few Stalkers going to come through. Teleprobe's coming about, just going to be seeing a couple Stalkers already hitting the Adept. Adept is going to go down for the moment as we just have, again, Robobay, +1 and Charge, all coming through. The units of Arogfire gathering. I mean, 61 to 59 workers, army supplies even, both players going to Charge. Right now, it's the fact that Jimmy has the 3 Immortals. It's going to be a very strong army, obviously way less Stalkers. But he's about to have Charge, start whooping in those Zealots, even a Robobay coming up quickly from Fujumi. We don't see players kind of switching into the Robobay so quickly nowadays. A lot of people kind of stand on the rest of the Protoss units before they go into the Robobay deeper into the game. Going to be seeing here the Stalkers just warping in, just going to be stepping up. We'll come to the left. Nexus and a Pylon coming through, and our Stalkers will continue to fight. So the Nexus goes down, the rest of the units sitting up on the high ground. So this is going to come about. 10 probes going down on the other side of the map. The DTs are already hitting hard, so that Prism coming into this main base. A lot of workers going down from Arogfire, and in a game where he's been unsuccessful breaking through that powerful army comp. Not loving where that is going. It looks as though Arogfire is in a bit of trouble. Jimmy will lose his Prism, but the damage is already very much so being done. DT's on the natural now, are swiping through workers. We've got DT on the third base that's been getting kills. And Fujumi says, cool, time for me to go to the bottom side of the map and to go big push, to, go for a bigger push, because he's going to be able to cancel a fourth base that's on the way in. His own fourth base will now take a lead in this game. And yeah, Fujumi is playing this one beautifully, just showing us the power of being in control of the game. That's why stuff like, building DTs can be so effective, because it just takes a distraction for your opponent to be looking elsewhere, and boom, the entire game can turn around from that. Let's move back up the left-hand side. Stalker's coming over, Zealots there as well. Get a little bit of a cleanup. Prism will load a few units up, and we're going to continue out onto the other side. So just going to go for pushes. Arogfire, equal army supplies, and a +2 upgrade lead for a few more seconds here. I thought Fujumi actually did add on Blink, so you'll have that. It's actually kind of cute, because if you can blink a few Stalkers after the Prism, it'll be very good for you. He'll lose one Immortal straight away. Fujumi, obviously has a bunch of Archons. He has Disruptors. He should never lose this fight, realistically. It's very difficult. There is exactly what I'm talking about. The Prism's exposed. You blink underneath it just to guarantee the kill nice and quickly and easily. Target fires down the Immortals. I mean, you still got to deal with the Archons. And the problem is Stalkers don't, you can't get away with Mass Stalker forever. And so, if you start warping in Zealots, those Archons are there, they're going to melt the Zealots, and then you're not going to have a fair Zealot fight in the slightest, so... See those Archons still moving over, and we're actually going to see GG called, as Fujumi will tie our series up 1-1 in the best of 5. So, we are going to be tied up and ready to go into Game 3 with everything to play for in this best of 5 PvP. Of course, this is an elimination round matchup, so the loser of this is they get knocked out. They do not get to come back again. Ultra Love going to be map number 3. As we jump into this, get this underway, and let's see what's going to happen. On the top right, we do have our player bringing it back to tying it up. 1-1 is for Jumi. And Arogfire in the bottom left will try and retake a lead in this series here in Game 4. We're moving about, going around right now. I'm just going to see our gateways and assimilator coming in. So, probe just moving about. Cybercore gateway continue to come up for the moment. Just going to be seeing the 2 gates and the Cybercore coming in, the probes coming up. Probes gather on the right side, a couple of Stalkers and the Warp Gate coming through, the Adepts and a Stargate building from Arogfire. The probe just moving. Arogfire is proxying the Stargate, by the way, so down over here, the Stargate on the way. Just in case Jumi is trying to figure out what's up. He's gone the wrong way with the probe to spot this, although maybe he has some plans with his probe as well. Doesn't look like the case. Stalkers on the way out, Warp Gate building through, probe on the way, Nexus starts on the natural. And these 2 Adepts of Arogfire are just going to begin to shade out to the upper right-hand side. Nexus will come through. It's going to be seeing the 2 Adepts going to come across. The Adepts going to fire, and the battery here taking some hits. Oracle dives in. It's actually a really nice start. The Stalker's late to arrive. We're across the map with a little bit of poking damage from Jumi, but Okay, that's pretty serious because he actually depowers the gateways and the warp gates. We recall 2 adepts to try and hold this off. You should get rid of this stalker. Oh, the battery finishes. I think Fujumi took a couple of stumbling moments there in his thought process, and yeah. I wonder if he could have just got that stalker, and then 2 adepts don't do a lot of damage, right? That could have been really rough. Blink still coming in, warp gate coming up. Oracle gonna eat some energy overcharge. Another sentry and stalker warping up this ramp. So just gonna be seeing this Nexus taking damage. The Oracle of Arogfire coming across the map. Stalkers will knock the Nexus down here. Gun shield already popping. You see the probes coming across. They're going to continue to chase after those stalkers in the sentry. Recall comes down. Blink building on the Twilight Council. Robo facility. 2 more probes coming through. The Nexus starting on the natural. The stalkers, adepts, and the sentry going to make their way out to the top of the map here initially. Gonna go straight to the other side. The depths are gonna shade. And again, the Immortal coming up as well. Oracle just gonna activate. A few probes are being killed off here. And Depkin in the back. I mean, 6 probes go down. Jumi taking damage, but I mean, he's actually in a really good spot, right? Because he's got that expansion up. His opponent's got to rebuild it. And this game kind of sits in a spot here where now, because that Nexus has gone down, even though Jumi lost so many workers, he's also kept a lot of army alive. Again, with that Robo being up, he's got the Immortal out. If you look at the position from Arogfire, his tech is the Twilight Council that currently he's not even building anything off of. Surely soon we start a Blink, but the longer he waits on that Twilight Council without starting Blink, the worse this gets, because he's really just playing with way less tech. Jumi even getting in to deal some more damage, and this position improving for him here on Ultra Love. Getting better and better. Oracle sets up. Thing coming through, Nexus on the way. We've got ourselves the gateway and stalkers building up as well, so we just get that started. Blink and Immortal building at the moment from Fujumi. Sentry, gateway, probes coming about as well. The stalkers and the sentries continue to step up. Get some adept kills here, so this harassment will be shut down. Arogfire finally getting something that stabilizes him rather than creating more of a problem third base. It's going to come up at the front, finally going to go down. Stalkers, sentries continuing out through the middle of the map. Extra gates coming online here. The stalkers and the sentries and the Immortal going to be coming through. Stasis ward is right there. If you walk into that, that's going to trap a lot of your units right now, and Fujumi could walk into some trouble. He's already taken a lot of losses. Jumi's Blink not ready yet. He's going to try and knock down these rocks. I mean, the stalkers can blink across them, but it would then be a blink in at least, and it's going to force you to at least go the other way around. Immortal's going to be there. Stalker's going to fight back. Couple sentries taken down. You blink up. That Immortal is going to take some hits. It's going to go down. Now the rest of these units coming in from the other side. Blink finishing up. The Immortal steps back a little bit. The Stalker's still gathering here. I mean, the Arogfire just dives in. He feels like he has to go super deep to do enough damage, and he gets one more mortal, but he's going to lose pretty much everything, the Oracle included, and he will type GG to give Jumi a 2-1 lead in the best of 5. So for Jumi takes the advantage in the series for the first time after being down a game. We now go all the way the other direction. I'm going to be going to Frostline for map number 4. We will just have a short ad break, guys. Take a couple of moments. Was that proxy actually faster? The Stargate? Probably not faster, probably more about just hiding what's being done. Trying to make it look like something that it isn't. Is the more likely situation, to be honest. If I had to make a guess. Do. Alright, let's jump into game number 4 and see what happens. Into Frostline we go. As we have Jumi and Arogfire. Game number 4. So in the top right hand side, up 2-1, a chance to close this one out. It's going to be our green Protoss player for Jumi. Battling against Arogfire, the blue Protoss in the bottom left corner of Frostline. Good game, good luck, have fun. It says for Jumi as we enter the 4th map here. Just broke across the map, Arogfire looking to see some early scout and information, getting straight across and looking to cause some troubles. Probably just going to get nibbled at for a little bit here. Just going to be seeing the gates, cyber cores coming online, the probes all building. Take a few moments early. And gates, cyber core coming up. Probes is going to come across here. Cyber core about to complete, and again the Stargate dropping down in the main base of Arogfire. So Stargate sets up, the Adept's going to start to build as well. Just see this pylon setting up on the natural. Okay, coming on both sides. Probes coming through. Nexus drops, just going to be seeing this going to be an expansion play once again. No surprises, really. I mean, these two seem to be pretty into their expands, at least to get to 2 bases each. But we'll be playing that style one more time here. And Hallucination just gets down to that bottom left-hand side. Oracle still moving across the other direction. Straight across. We're just going to see a couple of force fields coming down. It's going to be a lot of damage done, though. This is going to be Oracle coming in for a lot, and Jumi going to take some heavy early hits, and this time Arogfire, I think, is going to put himself in a good position, and there's not really anything going on to undo this from Fujumi's point of view. I mean, look at this. Twilight Council going to finish at pretty much the same time. Doesn't even kill the Oracle, which would have been a nice little cherry on top, at least for Fujumi to convince us that this is maybe going to be okay, make it look a little bit prettier. Now he's just down 5 workers, still has 2 oracles to deal with, and has what, the same blink timing? What does he have in his favor? 3 sentries, congratulations, you got hallucination information, which your opponent just picked up everything with the oracles anyway. So it becomes a little bit of a difficult spot for Fujumi, where he is now kind of forced to just play from behind. I mean, he's actually re-catching up on workers very quickly here currently. Probe coming across, gates coming through. And Blink just going to be coming online as the stasis ward comes down. Uncle just comes back over. Stalker's going to get the hallucination. Stalker's going to move out. Oracle's going to come through. We are going to be seeing the gateway right there going to be spotted. The Stalker's going to turn onto that and start to pick away at it. Gateway goes down immediately, so that's a nice catch from Arogfire. Fujumi trying to get set up on this left-hand side is not going to go anywhere at all. Is going to come back through. Hey, at least we're going to have... What do we have? As for Jumi, I mean, not really much of anything. Later on the 3rd base, just that early damage is hurting. There's our Stalkers and Sentries coming down the bottom left-hand side. A couple Oracles gathering up. Stalkers going to set up as well. Hallucination going to get picked off. Balance going through, the probes are still building up. We've got the Stalker Sentry on that left-hand side from Fujumi. I mean, he's looking as though he's going to try and make something happen. Probe goes down to the pylon again, Forge Gateway, and probes all coming through. The couple of Stalkers going to join up as well. The rest of these Stalkers coming across the map. Again, Forge will build, the battery will come through. 2 more probes coming about as well. There is a stasis ward. Just going to catch a Stalker already. Now the Stalker's going to begin to fight back a little bit. just going to get hit. Just going to be seeing some shots coming through. Arogfire still has just enough units and also just 15 more workers. So his reinforcement's going to be good. He's playing the defensive position. We'll lose the oracles. All the stay swords at the front. He didn't at the front of the third. Didn't expect Jumi to maybe go diving into the natural, and maybe this is why, because it's not going to exactly end very well for you anyway. The sentries and the stalkers get beaten up here. And yeah, I mean, we're going to have to pull the probes apparently, but that's just going to make it more convincing. Arogfire is not really in trouble. He's just pulling probes as he can. He will do just that. As the stalkers continue to get chased away, a couple more stalkers warping in. We'll just step all the way through. And Arogfire is going to tie us up, take us to a game 5 in our very first series of the day. GG, well played, says Jumi, and that means we are going to go to a 5th game of this series. So we're going to go to one final map and decide whether or not it's Arogfire to advance. And if it's not, then obviously it's for Jumi to advance as we go to Amygdala to decide it. I'll check, yeah, hold on. I'll time out the bar, that's fine. Alright, let's go game 5. Send it. As we continue through the OSC Championship games today. Thank you to see you all. Thanks for joining us. Right. In the bottom left-hand corner is going to be our green Protoss player for Jumi. Battling on against the blue Protoss in the top right, Arogfire. Well, next is Chrono boosting along. Let's see, our gate's coming up, Cybercore's coming in. Just gonna take a watchtower, hang about for a couple of moments. Sentries. There's the Stalker Sentry coming up here. Warp Gate on the way on both sides. Probes in production. Drop a pylon down. Just gonna see the probe of Jumi. Just pulling away for a couple of moments. And the Nexus coming up. The gateways or the Warp Gates coming through. Sentry on the way. Hang around for a few moments here as we set up into game 5. Both players expanding, sentries coming up. Slightly faster expansion from Arogfire so far. Remember, this is an elimination match. The loser is out. But it's all on the line here in this 5th game. Tough next round matchup. I believe the winner of this plays Classic, which is not exactly an easy opponent to kind of go up against next, but you know, I would not say there's no chance for either of these guys to take on Classic. He lost to Wayne in the winner's bracket. It was a bit surprising in the first place. As the probe just takes the watchtower, and the hallucination scouts through into the main base to see what's up, see what's going on. Twilight Council building from Arogfire. Next is coming in. Warp Gate building through as well. Getting set up at the moment. That's the hallucination popping from Arogfire. Just going to get out to the bottom left. Hallucinate probe goes down. Hallucination into the main base, going to scout and see what's up. And yeah, again, Blink on the way, Immortal on the way. Fujimi going back to that robo-base style, which we've seen in the previous games, which has, succeeded for him. Has put him into some good positions. It's just going to go into those Immortals and get that really bulky army working in the early stages. There's a couple more Stalkers get warped in here as well. Probe gathering, Immortal coming up, Assimilator coming through, extra gates across the board. There's 2 gates already coming down from Arogfire, so getting those into play immediately. The Probes, the Observer, and the Blink building. And Stalker Sentry is just going to begin to move out. So Jimmy going to go for a little bit of a poke before Blink is done on the other side. And we'll see if he can find anything. Obviously with the sentries has some force fields that can help you to create a fight that favors you, or to potentially back away from a fight which does not favor you. So until Blink is done, you really are somewhat able to do this. I mean, you look at what Arogfire has, it's a very similar group of units. Gotta be very careful. Gonna hallucinate the prism. The order shows up. The hallucination here spots the army though, so you see that straight away. It's gonna get there. The hallucination goes down. Again, Twilight Council building up. The Nexus coming through. Third base from Fujimi just gonna set up straight away on that bottom side. So just gonna set up there. These units. I would like them to just go home. I don't feel like they're gonna gain anything from being on the map. And now Blink is ready. I'm just afraid that they end up in a bad spot at a bad time. Already 2 Adepts moving forward. The Stalkers will blink in, get the hallucination. They can maybe start talking to this third base, but I guess the assumption from Arogfire is that Fujimi went home, so Fujimi's just going to counterattack straight into the natural. There is recall available on this base, so that is a possibility. That is something that will likely come into play as we knock down a pylon, and are we going to really stand in this and fight? We are. The recall's too late. I think he should have recalled the moment he saw the recall coming up from his opponent, but honestly not bad. He's going to kill a few probes, and he did save the Immortal, albeit on low HP. And he forces the recall, like I say, which kind of buys time to get more Immortals out and more tech units up to defend the third. I was not immediately convinced, but as the plan came together, it actually worked pretty well for him. Like I say, maybe just he should have recalled a little sooner himself. It's always a 50-50. Like, if he doesn't recall enough, then standing your ground there is amazing. But if he recalls everything, then standing your ground obviously looks a little silly. Like I say, I think Fujumi's a little fortunate to not lose the Immortal. Now, this gateway is up and producing warp-ins right now as the Dark Shrine coming in, a couple of probes coming over, battery setting up, and the Stalkers and Sentries going to push straight in towards this base here. There's a lot of hallucinations, but can we figure out which one of those are real or not? There's no detection on the side of Arogfire. Those hallucinations definitely going to scare you, and like I say, maybe you end up wasting some shots on those hallucinations. Stalkers step up. That's one very real Immortal that does go down, though. He knew that one was real because it was across the map previously, so that's a good one to target, if that was the reason. But that one was actually identifiable because, like I say, that's the one you put damage onto and didn't kill previously because you can see on the HP bar that remains. Hallucination's gone now. We're going to blink in from Arogfire. They're going to clean this army out. 2, 3 Immortals all going down. And Stalkers are going to run this world, apparently, as they are just going to go after every single other Stalker. Even some Zealot shots as they go. I mean, Sentries will get cleaned up afterward, and Fujumi's supply is absolutely plummeting here on Amygdala. As, he has DTs. He has DTs. DTs to save the day. DTs across the map. Detection not available. There's not a robo facility in sight. Uh-oh. Do we have any DTs across the map? We do. Probes are starting to go down. Like I say, not a robo facility in sight. It's going into the main base right now. Detection is a distant dream right now. As DTs continue to warp in, the more DTs you build at the moment, the better off you're going to be. If he sees the main base robo building, then he should go for it because he'll realize that that's the detection possibility. He's obviously going for as many swords as they can get. Arogfire supply dropping. 2 robos built in as well. Actually, so we have a robo in the main. We have a robo. Where's the other robo? On the proxy. Robo on the proxy probably wins you the game, right? Honestly, this might win you the game because this observer, I think, is gonna try and get out. 2 TTs are gonna go onto it, but Jumi needs to realize. Oh, he doesn't see it. The observer's right there as well. He just doesn't realize actually how close he is to seeing that the robo's there. Oh! He finds the pylon. He's gonna get the pylon. Sentries to protect the pylon. Yeah, I think we're good, right? Hold position. Didn't actually hold position there, but sentries are good. Force field's good. Robo facility's going to get an observer, and an observer wins this game in this series. Because DTs were the only thing we were holding on to. Observer's out. DTs can now be answered. Yeah, I feel like the proxy, you've got to think about how can you get detection up, and I guess in this case, if you knew about the gateway already, maybe that's just an assumption you have to make. And maybe get a DT there ASAP to deny that possibility. Could have built a pylon and then a robo elsewhere, but it obviously takes even longer, even more investment, right? As Jumi is, to be fair, still killing. Faces of his opponent, warps in a couple more DTs. I'm not sure what his plan is with these Dark Templar. He's going to recall them to the natural. I mean, there's just observers all over the map. The DTs will never do enough. GG, well played, and good luck Nexus for Jumi as he taps out of this one, and Arogfire will take the best of 5 in his favor, and Arogfire will take this series. Hey, Uncle Hoopry, thank you so much for the level 125 in the Royal match. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Alright, guys, that is going to be rounding us out for this series. And our first series of the day goes the way of Arogfire, who will move through to, as I say, play Classic in that next round. That ain't going to be an easy matchup. But good luck to him, as, yes, that leaves us into our next matchup. We'll not have that PvP matchup today. That'll be at another point. Next week, maybe. But now, today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be jumping into Baby Marine versus Mixu. So that's our next series up. Then we have Art versus Spirit, the winner versus Young Yakov, and then Rebellion versus Solar. So we're going to be going into all of those matchups in the near future. If you guys are enjoying, do not forget to support the OSC Championship. ! OSC in the chat can take you to the OSC Indiegogo page, and you can support the 12th season of the OSC Championship over here. So do check that out. Come and support. Lovely to see they've got some support now coming up. This does go towards raising the prize pool of the tournament so that we can pay out more money to more players who are impressing us throughout this tournament. So if you guys are enjoying this OSC Championship coverage the last few days, definitely checking out the OSC command and the Indiegogo page to support. So yeah, check that out. Give us some love. I'd say nice to see someone supporting already. It was kind of sad seeing Zero back us the last few days. I really do think this tournament deserves some love, guys. I know it's not maybe the most prominent tournament out there. They don't stream themselves throughout the year or anything. I really do vouch for them, though. This is, I think, one of the a very important circuit in the world of StarCraft 2. So do check it out. And thank you so much if you do check that out. Alright, Mixu. This is Baby Marine coming up next. Gonna start the series up on Whispers of Gold, I believe. So we'll get that ready to go in just a few moments as we get our second best of 5 coming online in just a few moments. They don't have scheduling clashes. Well, actually, everyone's schedule's over OSC, because OSC already had a bunch of scheduled days, and then a bunch of other tournaments came and scheduled over them. But OSC is awesome, and we'll just adapt and work around it as necessary, you know? So, love it. I think we can just host up and get going. We have a minute or so left on ads. Seems reasonable. Mixu Baby Marine should be a banger. I actually think so too. This is another matchup where I think two players are very nicely matched up with one another. I actually think there's even possibility for a very long game here. Baby Marine, I always feel like every time I cast Baby Marine in a TVZ in an OSC event, he ends up playing like a 40-minute game or something, so yeah. Alright, let's hop into this one as we have in the bottom right-hand side, the loser player. We have got Mixu to kickstart this series. He is taking on the Red Terran. In the top left, we have a Baby Marine. In one of the best of 5, and like I say, Whispers a goal to start as well. I genuinely do think this will just be a good series. I think this is going to be some good fun. See what happens. Get started up. SCV is going to be producing Overlords of Mixu coming across the map as we get started. Overlord just going to journey to the upper left-hand side, just going to come straight across there. Guys, I'm just going to be every 1 second, just going to turn the light on. It's getting a little dark in the room. Be right back. There we go. A little bit lighter, keep us awake as we continue through our matches. Ranger's gonna shoot, Overlord gonna take some damage. We have our Reaper, sorry, is already across the map and taking a little bit of damage. Just a little bit of back and forth right there. Nothing too crazy. We've seen the Reaper joining back up. Let's have ourselves the Reaper coming back around again. Ling is going to be there. And Queen going to fire a couple of shots. Reaper going to go for the Creep Tumors. Gets 2 Creep Tumors. And he gets out of there on 4 HP. What a wonderful time to be a Reaper. 2 Creep Tumors is actually a pretty big deal. That's a lot of... that is genuinely someone that... well, that's genuinely something that I think actually has a big effect right there. It slows down the creep spread a lot. Reaper goes down because the Ling speed kicks in. We didn't pull it back soon enough, arguably. As the first Hellion pops out. Only 1 Hellion? 2 Hellions, okay. They were just a little bit disjointed in production. Nothing too serious, though. As, do handle that pretty well, so... Hellions moving about. Again, Queen's drones continue to come over. And the Banshee Hellions and the Cloaking all continuing through just for now. And again, just going to be having the extra drones building up for the moment as well. So just going to bring that over. Again, a couple of Hellions going to step around. The creep spread coming over as well. Going to be able to nab that creep tumor already. The Hellions still coming across. Banshee Hellions with the Cloaking, and we see how Baby Marine is going to be trying to deal some damage in these early stages. The Marines get there, they're going to pick off the Overlord. Overlord goes down with immediate effect. Additional drones in production, the lair building, hatchery and the extractor coming through. The Lings and the Queen gonna make it their job to jump onto those rocks and start to deal a little bit of damage initially. Aliens back to the middle of the map. Oh, and she's going to come diving through. A couple of Lings going down. Now some drones taking damage as well. It's going to be seeing the Hellions continuing all the way down. Going to get through, and that's going to be quite a lot of drones that get caught here. So we're going to see a lot of damage being done. Now 12 workers going down so far. It's a pretty serious amount of damage, no? Very successful as you kind of look at that and say, you know what? Definitely works pretty decently, as we just have Baby Marine able to do a great amount of damage right off the bat. Banshee and Hyperflight Rotors coming through, the Magfield Accelerator coming up, Cyclone building. We're going full mech here with the additional factories. So Baby Marine, great start, but horrible follow-up. He's playing mech. Baby Marine, what are we doing? Why? Okay, Battle Mech is a little bit better. Obviously, Battle Mech has been a thing again lately, but man, I still don't love it. I still feel like Mech gives us so many situations where you get off to a good start and then you just lose the game because you're playing Mech, and Mech struggles, man. Mech struggles. Do see our Infernal Preigniter coming up. Carapace upgrade, Balance speed coming through. The Evolution Chamber will be starting on the side of Mixu. And the Banshees will begin to make their way down the left-hand side, so they will go over here. The few Zerglings are going to gather, and they are going to just morph a few Banelings in as well, so in they go. As Banes continue up, a lot of Lings in production. Like I say, the Baneling speed is also producing right now, so again, that Baneling speed started. And just a couple of scans coming through, and Magfield Accelerator, Cyclone, +1 vehicle weapons. All coming up at the moment as the Queens are going to get rid of Banshee number 1, looking for Banshee 2 here. Banshee 3 just about slipping away. The Ling Bane still moving about again. Additional factories in production. And these few Banelings are going to slip their way into this mineral line, so a few of those SCVs have to go retreating out of there. Alien Cyclone coming across. The SCV still gathering. Again, that Ling Bane army continuing to come through. A lot of Ling Bane, and Mixu, as you can see with the positioning, is 100% looking to play very counterattack heavy with this. Already setting up to run by into this natural third. I mean, take your pick. As units show that they're out on the map. So as these units reveal themselves, Ling's going to run in. They can just surround those Cyclones. I think it's a mistake not to, honestly, because, yeah, Cyclones are pretty darn expensive in the grand scheme of things here. Some Bane's going to chase the SCVs on the third base. Some Bane's is going to crush through a reactor in the depot on the high ground. 23 SCVs already going down. And already Baby Marine is taking some pretty heavy shots early on in this game number 1. This has fallen apart for him very quickly right away right now. That was really bad. Very, very bad. Things coming back up. Hellions are going to be there. Those Zerglings keep on getting chased. Bottom side is going to be seeing melee and missiles continue to come through. Roaches and Fests coming up. The Hive in production. Is Baby Marine Gabe's brother? No, Baby Marine is Reynold's brother. Yes, it's Reynold's brother. Siege tank vehicle plane all coming through. Just going to be seeing the command center about to finish in as the Hellions join up. Siege tank gathering up. The rest of the Hellions and the Cyclones coming over once again as we step across just for a moment or so. The Lings are trying to catch these few Hellions. Just going to be seeing the Lings trying to chase. The Hellions turning around. Bottom side, the Cyclones just going to go and pick away at a few of those creep tumors. With some Hellions going to hit this mineral line as well. So, Baby Marine says, I can lose drones, you can lose drones. Everyone loses drones. 12 workers going down right from the very start. The Hellions getting surrounded again by a group of Zerglings. The Lingbane Roach gathering up. The Banshees going to make a play for the Infestors. Fungal Growth going to catch those Banshees and say, nuh-uh. And that is going to be 12 dead drones for Mixu, who sits still at a 16 worker lead. I love the Infestors. The Fungals are so good. They're good at catching the Banshees. They're good at catching the Cyclones. Those are all very important factors here. Just seeing the Banshees cloaked up, pulling around. The rest of the Lings going to pull back around as well. So again, we keep moving for a few moments. Hellions and Cyclones going to get there. The Zerglings get turned away. Will be a pushback for the moment here. Let's just have the rest of these Lings moving across. So again, we stay in motion. Just going to be having the +2 vehicle plating coming through, +2 vehicle attacks. Big attack from Mixu at the front is going to knock down the third base. Can he hit the fourth at the same time? If he could continue through there, that would be huge. As these Infestors are going to drop some Fungals. One of the two go down. This locks a few units in position. Hatchery will die to the Banshees. We are just in an absolutely scrappy situation at the moment as the Cyclones knock down a Baneling. The Ravagers still get hit. More Corrosive Valves dropping into play. The Orbital taking some more shots. Roaches, Ravagers, Banelings trying to step up. A couple of the tanks though doing a lot. However, there goes the CC. So without the third, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for Baby Marine. There's 2 Infestors, 2 Vipers, all building up. The Spire coming into the back of the Natural. This army of Mixu just retreating away for now. Banshees will retarget a hatchery, and they already got rid of that one on the right side. If they get another hatch, that'd be massive. Gonna cloak up and go after these couple of queens. Spore gonna have to burrow, and Festa needs to be careful not to be targeted here. Also, the Overseer showing up as well. Drops the Fungal, that will be a dead Banshee. So 2 of the 3 Banshees going down. I don't know if I love the Queen Chase versus maybe just pulling away and getting some more damage on this hatch, putting this lower and making it a target for later in the game, potentially. So Roach has come back over. The Lings are still trying to wrap around. Roach is going to be there. Siege tanks coming up. The Banshee and the Hellions all coming through. CCs are still building up as well. And our +2 vehicle plating is coming up on the armory as the Great Aspire is about to complete. Again, Adrenal Glands +3 missiles still coming into play. So we get all of this pushing forwards. A couple of Vipers are going to be overhead. Mixu says, right, enough of you counterattacking. Let's actually focus on me coming through to try and shut this down as the Siege tanks getting completely caught in those blinding clouds. It's going to be seeing the Planetary Fortress is going to fall. Going to be seeing Planetary goes down, the CC goes down. Really looks as though, I mean, it does feel as though Mixu's just got this. Hey Marine, you should have just played Bio, buddy. Battle mech in it. I mean, to be fair, if he played Bio and that same kind of run by happened, it probably wouldn't have been any better for him. I'm not gonna lie. Just definitely feels pretty rough because it feels like a a starting kind of game where it started so well for Baby Marine and it just all came crumbling down. Burrow about to finish, +3 melee and missiles on the way out, +1 flyer attack on the Great Aspire. Once more, Mixu is just ready to keep sending it. He's just going to keep pushing in. He's just going to keep going and trading, and don't blame him. You've got the Terran down to 3 bases. You can push him off the 3rd base as well. If you keep doing this, you're going to keep putting yourself into better and better spots. That is going to be that as the Banshee firing. Corrosive Valves trying to go down. Will not hit the Banshee, though. And we chase away. Siege tanks, Hellions, and the Banshee still coming up. CC coming through. SCVs are building on the orbital command. Cyclones gonna get 1 Viper, gonna get both Vipers. Misplay from Mixu. That was just wandering. He says, "Who needs Vipers when you can just go?" So he's just going to send it anyways, and again with the lead he has, it might just be good enough. Tanks are falling to the wayside, corrosive piles are helping to speed up that process. Cyclone's doing what they can to make their way through all of these units. GG gets called, and Mixu is going to take the opening game as Babe Marine. Just has to tap out. Can't really stick around in that one. Alright, so Babe Marine to tap, and Mixu to take the first advantage, as we'll head to a game 2 here on Frostline to see how our second series of the OSC Championship today is going to keep on heading. Alright, let's get this going, guys. Could have won it even harder with those two Vipers. He just didn't need them, man. He just did not need. He really didn't need them as well, so I guess why take what isn't necessary? Alright. Let's hop into it. Because we are going to have ourselves in the top right hand side the player who's able to take the 1-0 lead. The blue Zerg is Mixu. Taking on in the bottom left, it is going to be Babe Marine. Alright, game 2 of our best of 5. Hey, what's up, Mason Jar 014? Thank you so much for the 100 bits. Appreciate the support. If you guys are enjoying the stream, well, let's do a little tiny sellout segment. We've not done many sellout segments this week. If you guys are enjoying the stream, I'm going to list all the ways you guys can support. First of all, continue to tune in and watch the stream. That's more easily done when you follow the Twitch channel, or when you like and subscribe to the YouTube. About 50%, so we actually have had an uptick in amount of people who are subscribed watching the YouTube. It's now about 50%, so great job. But you have a 50% chance of not being subbed if you're watching right now. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, catch more games in the future. You can also check out the stream sponsor on Twitch right now. Eddie just hit us with the exclamation mark Royal. You can download Royal Match, download it on your phone, play through. Level 20 is the first support point that adds $3 to the stream. Every progression from there continues to add money to the stream. Play it over the next couple of weeks whenever you have some time. You're looking for something to fill your mind when you're on your phone. Instead of doom scrolling, you could be matching colors and making money for StarCraft 2. And of course, as always, you can subscribe with the Prime, you can subscribe with money, you can donate, you can cheer. All of it helps us to keep on casting StarCraft 2 content on a regular, somewhat daily basis. I'm off this weekend, I know, but other than that, we do a pretty good job at staying consistent with casting StarCraft. So do check that out, support if you can, and appreciate you guys being here for all the events that we've had over the course of this week. It's actually funny because when this week came about, I really thought this week was going to be like a lot of long days, like 8-hour days, and then the first day was like 6.5 hours, and it's been like 6.5, 6, 5.5. I was like, man, this week really didn't go as long as I thought it would. The best of 5s and the OSC Championship have not been as long, and the Leo League Cup groups especially were not very long, so we've actually not really had very long days. Grenade goes down, bops the Queen about a little bit. Link speed, hatchery, and drones all producing through the Queen on the way up as well. So we bring that over for the moment. And we get settled in. Link speed will begin. Just going to be having the Reaper continuing across the other side for a few moments. And the Reaper going to join up with the Hellion as we sit here on Frostline for a couple of moments and see where we're going to go, what we're going to do, figure out what is happening. Reaper on the 2 Hellions again, just gonna maneuver around. Really is the kind of excitement for the moment here. Not much else to add to this. Just for the moment, so we settle in. We wait to see what'll happen next. Reapers and the Hellion together, gonna move across. Banshee, Hellions, Cloaking, all coming through the tech lab. Coming up on that side of Baby Marine as well, as the Hellions are gonna get turned around by the Queens. Let's get pushed back immediately here. And that's going to be a grenade, going to bump that Queen forward. So that's going to get bumped over immediately. Aliens join up, just going to be some lag coming through, drone links coming over. Just going to be seeing a couple of those lings going down immediately, so Mixu loses his lings, maybe gives a chance for these Hellions just to run in. We try to wall with the Evo chambers, ain't happening. And some of these drones will 100% die, as that Evo chamber would have even really helped. The Queen on hold position will help. We can get a few more of the drones. I saw on the low ground, Reaper grenade the Queen out the way. And Baby Marine is in. He'll get a bunch more drones in this main base, and it's a disaster for Mixu, as he has joined the barbecue that he really was hoping he could have avoided. 16 drones dead to the Hellions, and that is a pretty disastrous situation to say the least. Ouch. Actually going to swap off the reactor to a tech lab instead. Barrack's going to move to the reactor instead now, so just going to swap on over and take a step over in that direction. Reactor about to finish up on the starport. Again, we get the rest of the structures coming up. Just going to be having our 2 Banshees making their way across the map as well. So just going to go straight through the middle. And away we go. Banshee's going to get that Queen in a moment. Chase, chase, chase. Doesn't get it. Queen's going to hit the Banshees back the other way. Battling Nest halfway done. The Zerglings producing through. Melee upgrade and Overlords on that production tab as well. Marines and tank. Medevacs also just being added onto this as Mixu should be hurting. And as we go into the bioplay here from Baby Marine, I wonder if his first real push of the game is going to have that potential to get a lot done. We get rid of a couple more Crypt Tumors here. It's just going to knock those down. Banshees make their way back through the bottom. Medevacs are going to join up. Marines are going to be there with this as well. So Baby Marine making this push. Like I say, you just killed a bunch of drones early. That should mean a push like this has the absolute potential to succeed. So step forward. Couple Crypt Tumors going down. Well, Bane's going to come over. The Queen's going to step through. Failing speed halfway done. The Marines thinking about what they want to do as well. Just going to turn around. You see those Queens still going forward. Tank going to fire it up. The Bane's going to try and roll into this. And all those Lings going down as well. The Bane's going to get target fired. 1, 2, 3, 4. And Marines go back over the left-hand side. Just going to be seeing our Lings moving over. The Marines still fighting. Baneling's getting knocked down. So we get rid of a bunch of those Banes. A little bit of a split here as well. More Zerglings being killed off once again as the Baneling speed continues on the Bane Nest. Banshee just gonna get cloaked up, kills off the Queen. And Marine's gonna go after the Overlord. The rest of the Lings still coming across the map. We're gonna load up the units. We're gonna back away from here, back into the center. So we've got double Banshee just chipping their way through the hatchery at the moment. As again, upgrades continue through. Just gonna be having the Medevacs, Marines, and tanks coming down through the bottom. Bottom right, our hatch will take a few more shots, so as Banshee's able to get some damage done. I mean, Baby Marine stepping up is going to come and get some Overlords. You can see the supply difference absolutely tremendous now, and Overlords going down and supply blocking Mixu is not exactly going to do him any favors. He does slow down this fourth from being taken. few more Marines and the tank joining back up together. A few Zerglings getting picked away at as well. Other Zerglings going down. We'll clean this up. The last Zergling goes down as well. And the Marines pick off this hatchery. So that hatchery falls as the Lingbane comes over. Just going to be trying to get the tanks onto those Banelings. The Marines just got to lift up. I was going to say abandon the tanks, but one of them doesn't even fall yet. We now start to just unload. As the unload split up, the Banelings do not have an efficient trade they can make, so they kind of have to just back away. No Zerglings nearby, apparently, to actually just fight those Marines as they unload one by one. And Bay Marine pushing on the top, on the bottom. Trying to break through Mixu with this 30 supply advantage. Here comes Bay Marine as he makes his way across to the upper right. As mentioned, 2 team buff upgrades, including that melee upgrade, leading the charge for Mixu. So he's going to have an upgrade lead if he can survive. That might be a big part of his comeback in this, but so many of these Banelings died before this even really began. They don't even kill the second siege tank, and at the same time, you've got Bay Marine who's pushing into this base on the right side. Mixu says GG, and I think rightfully so. It's kind of obvious that everything has fallen apart and slipped away from you at this point in this game. GG's. Alright, so Baby Marine Mixu going to get tied on up. Baby Marine brings it back already just by a game. And we are going to have ourselves, a little series on our hands, aren't we? We're going to have a little bit of back and forth coming through. Wonderful. Alright, so I will continue with that in just a couple of seconds, guys. Get this next game coming through momentarily. Let's host it up. Sorry guys, 1 sec. Get the game started, I just type something out. Sorry guys, I'll be in game in 1 moment. I appreciate we're not in game yet. There's been more than 1 moment. Sorry. Very nearly there. HO's on took a moment to save. Apologies. Oh no! You guys have missed the first supply depot placement! No way he put it in the wall off! Oh man. You know what? This is why you can't slack at the start of these games. Look at that! Depot at the wall. Alright, Mixu in the top right, Baby Marine in the bottom left. We're going to ley lines here for game number 3. Yakov, thank you so much for using your Prime sub on the stream for the 15 months. Welcome back. Much appreciated. Thank you very, very much indeed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Really appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Can't believe I made you miss that. I know. I'm sorry, okay? I took it too far. I took it too far. I was just trying to do something. If you must know, I forgot to put the title on my YouTube upload. So I was just trying to type that, and then I pressed save, and it didn't save, and I had to do it a couple times for some reason. I apologize, guys. I apologize. We're just going to come across and have a little bit of a scout in. We do have the SCV just blocking the third base, or at least attempting to over on this other side. It's just going to be having the SCV nibbling at that drone for a couple of moments. Zergling coming across as well. It's just going to bring that through. Do have the fuelings on the drone. Gonna get the SCV. Engineering bay blocked with maybe... No! It was worth it because the Reaper now blocks it. Drone becomes an extractor at least, but that is annoying, man. That's a shutdown that you were not wanting to play with or deal with here. Yeah, that is frustrating for sure. So we've seen the Reaper try and get his drone. Does get that drone as well. Drone pops out of the extractor. And we all become a hatchery. So hatchery goes down. Good job from Baby Marine though, just early on. Already enabling the rest of this. If we come back through Starport and the command center continue to come about. From the Hellion gathering, gather overlords moving through. Overlord settles down. Just going to be seeing the Hellions come through, the Queens coming about. Let's see what the Reaper Hellion can do, poking across the other side. So Queen's going to be there. Hellions and the Reaper going to get pushed around a little bit. Just going to join those units up together. And Banshee, cloaking, Stimpak coming through. And Reaper Hellions going to gather out a little bit of creep coming over. Carapace coming through as well. Come back around again, just sitting the edge of creep. We're going into those Banshees once more, getting that cloak up. I love this as a harassing option. I'm super happy to see Stim alongside that. Like I say, I feel like... Don't get me wrong, I do not think the Battle Mech game failed because of mech, but obviously that big run by hurt, but I'm still just not convinced by Battle Mech at all, to be honest. Pulling back down at the bottom. Bit of creep spreading around. Hatchery getting up to the top. Hellions and the Reaper coming over. Bane Nest and the Hatchery continue to come through for a few moments. We get this settled into play. Having those Hellions going up. Just going to be seeing a couple of Banshees coming through. Hatchery taking some shots. Marines and SCVs coming out down to the bottom side as the creep tumors have been getting cleaned up. Banshee actually goes down on the top, so the Queen's able to push back away from that. A couple of creep tumors going to get picked away at here. So 3 creep tumors get picked away at. Infestation pit coming through, melee upgrades, and the Baneling speed all coming online as well. The Marine tank continues up to the top. They settle down, just going to be seeing the Bane speed, the melee upgrade, all of that continue to come over. And upgrades coming through. Combat shield will start. We have our Marines and SCVs still pressing up as well. The rest of the Marines taking a stand as we do stim up towards this base. Baby Marine looking to apply pressure into this position. The siege tank already whacking at the extractor, hitting some of the Queens. And another medevac will boost up the left-hand side toward the top as we speak. The Ling Bane gathering for the moment. 2 upgrades on the Evil Chimps coming about. The Lean Bane around the left side. Looking to maybe get a bit of a dive in towards the group of Marines here. We're going to have a good surround. Evacuation time, straight up. I mean, you can't stick around in that. Just let the tanks do their thing. Yeah, we're going to load in the choke point in the corner, I guess, and get a few more units, but yeah, this is a good setup for Mixu, and Baby Marine, I think, identified that pretty quickly, was able to lift up and get the heck out of there. The rest of the Ling Bane Queen continues to come over. He's going to pull about, just going to load back into those medevacs. They're in load and gather to the left side. 2 upgrades, adrenal glands coming up as well. Just going to be having our Ling Queen continuing across. Putting everything together around the bottom right side. And move over. 2 upgrades, adrenal glands, Vipers all coming over. Here come the Lings as we wrap around a couple of Hellions. Tank gonna get sieged, a couple of Bane's gonna get jumped on. We load the Marines up into the medevacs. They're gonna load up into the high ground where they start to hit this hatchery. The rest of the Zerglings showing up as well. Those Lings will start getting shut down. Just gonna be seeing the hatchery taken out too. Still got adrenal glands, still got 2-2, and kindness plane all coming in. I mean, Baby Marine doing what he can, but the counterattack's already got rid of 20 SCVs, so that crashes through quite a lot of damage. And with Ultras on the way, I'm not sure Baby Marine is really set up to deal with Ultras very well at all. But he is going to get a hatcher on the top. It's a 4-base Zerg, isn't it? So 4-base to 4-base. It's kind of fun considering you're about to have the Ultra advantage. And just in general, you have a good worker lead as well. Parasitic Bomb is going to get those medevacs low, so they're going to have to get repaired probably before they do much else. He's going to run back through. CC will take damage. Ling Bane, Ultra on the bottom side. Going to run through as well. The Marines continue to fight. What am I going to fire? A few more Zerglings getting picked away at. GG's. And Mixu is going to take game number 3. Got to be a little bit expected towards the end there, as that is going to be a 2-1 advantage for Mixu. Definitely was putting himself in a good position. Definitely setting up for a great place. And now we get to go to game 4 to see if Mixu can close out, or if Baby Marine will find another game where he can get ahead early and leverage that advantage into something of a victory. Series 2 out of 5 here today still for OSC Championship, guys. We've got a bunch of games still coming up. Again, it's going to be Art versus Spirit. The winner of that plays young Yakov after this. And then also Rebellion versus Solar coming up as well. So we got a couple different matchups still to come. A TVP and a PVZ guaranteed. The young Yakov match obviously depends on what matchup or who wins the Spirit Art series, although you'd probably favor Spirit there. So potentially for all 3 non-mirrors to be played at the end. And yeah, after this, we'll obviously, after today, we'll have the entire first round of lower bracket played out already. We'll have a couple of players already in lower bracket, round 3. It'll be exciting. I think we make some more progress on the lower bracket next week as well, and then yeah, very excited to work our way through the rest of that upper bracket, because that upper bracket looks freaking awesome. It's really good. Best of 5, yes, all best of 5 in the OSC Championship. We're going into game number 4 right now with Mixu in the lead. 2-1, it's Amygdala to try and round this series out. Let's see what we get as we load on into it. We're going to start off in the top right corner of the map with the blue Zerg player taking the lead once again. Had the lead in game after game 1, lost it after game 2, brought it back now to 2-1. It's Mixu in the top right side of the Amygdala. Bottom left, our red Terran is a Baby Marine. CC coming in, and we got ourselves the Overlord coming across. Hatch, gas, and pool all starting up. And thanks for joining us for the OSC Championship, guys. We'll have more OSC Championship next week. I think the next OSC Championship stream is on Thursday. I really need to double check my schedule a little bit, but yeah, we got a lot of OSC coming and going and being here and there and everywhere. Easy now, Reaper, moving across. It's going to be taking a little bit of a jump over to the other side. It's going to be moving over for now. As our SCV comes up, Reaper moves across, like I say, and again, Queen's link speed. And the drone or two continuing into production. So we got a Marine to whack away at the Overlord for a few moments as well. It's just going to get some damage done there to start us off as well. Looking good. Marine's actually going to come further out, and Reaper's across the map and sees the Lings, so it's not too dangerous for the Marine to be out there, but the Reaper goes down, trying to get that creep to him and trying to play a bit of a dancing game, but it falls apart. Disaster. I actually think there's 2 OSC streams next week, guys, but I'm not here for one of them, so yeah, but we'll have one of those matchups, one of those days next week, and then the weekend after next week is going to be the last weekend of February into March. Sorry, of January into February. As the things gather together. Sorry, the weekend of January into February. I feel like I didn't say that. The last weekend of January into February is going to be the final 3 days of OSC Championship. We're going to continue that winners bracket and all the rest of the games, so should be awesome as our Zerglings do come through. They look pretty good for themselves, getting some damage done. SCV's fallen. Here is damage from Mixu, is going to get into a good place. I mean, these Lings split up. They go a couple of different places. We are going to get this SCV, I think, building the CC. Oh, CC finishes, but it is still plus 1 more SCV killed. We're finally on the low ground going down, and it's just a disaster for Baby Marine, who is going to be taking so much damage super early in the game. SCV's full. We do have our Queens on the way up, drone and the Lings coming through as well. We've got ourselves another orbital command coming through. A couple of SCVs building up right now. It's just gathering in. We do have ourselves the Liberator and the Hellions coming up as well. I'm just gonna nibble up on the rocks. So some rocks taking some damage. Hellions coming around the left-hand side. On the way over, just gonna be seeing the Hellions gonna get back. The Lings going down. And there's the carapace upgrade coming through. Drones and Lings coming about. Extractor on the way. At this point in the game, I mean, you already did a lot here as Baby Marine early, so I do feel like Baby Marine gets into a pretty good spot early on. A couple of engineering bays, a couple of barracks, all still coming up. The additional SCVs and a stim pack upgrade coming through as well. And yeah, melee and carapace upgrades building here from Mixu. With the lair involved on that. A couple of engineering bays producing as well. I mean, you got to try here as Baby Marine, of course, to step back in this. I mean, ways to approach this is a little bit difficult, as obviously you're sitting in a situation where you just took damage earlier you're not really meant to take. Just got to try and find some good trades going into the next stage of this game. You know, try and minimize your mistakes, take some good fights, maybe some good drop play, push at the same time, try and get that multitasking in your favor. the Viking chasers. The Overlord gets pushed. Just going to be seeing the rest of the Queens gathering at the top. This is going to work onto the rocks right here. I see those lings nibbling through, damage being done. Zuglin's going to be coming back around. Hellions are going to get there. A few more lings getting picked away at. We do see quite a few of those lings still getting knocked away. A lot of those going down. Game speed, 2-2 upgrades all coming about. Roaches, lings, and the hive coming online. And we do see Medivacs going to go out over to the far right, just for the moment. Cyclone Marines will just unload. Crypt Demon is getting picked away at. That's all going to be going down on the left-hand side. Hellions are going to make a dive by as well. It's going to be 5 drones already going down, 6 workers going down. The Hellions going to get caught by the Banes, but at least we got some worker damage. Marines on the right side. Can we maybe run in for that hatchery? Again, feeling like we need to do something as Baby Marine. Is that, to be fair, only 10 workers behind? I mean, he's got a lot of lings. I suppose it's not all bad for Babe Marine. Gonna be behind on the 2-2 upgrades as well, though, so. Means the Medivac still gathered together. He's gonna run through. Marines are just gonna be getting caught a little bit. Just gonna be seeing the rest of the Marines and the tanks going through. Couple lings going down again. Viper, Adrenal Glands, 2-2 upgrades all coming up. So as Marines gather in, a couple of Medivacs go up the left-hand side. Is going to drop off. A couple of Crypt Demons going down already. And so stepping through, Crypt Demons coming about on the bottom right side. Corrosive Bars, kaboom for full Medivac. Good catch from Mixu. Nicely dropped. And it's going to get up around the top. Again, Ultra's coming through, +3/+3 melee and carapace upgrades. Kindness Plane and Adrenal Glands all continuing into play. The Medivacs of Babe Marine going to go around the top as well. This is going to dive forward. That's going to be an Overlord going down, a few drones. I mean, the drop player from Babe Marine doing a lot for him. He's standing in this so far. Going to be seeing the Ultra Cavern going to be the target here. Only a couple lings stayed on those Marines. Do we get the Ultra Cavern? No! Legitimately 1 HP. The 1 HP Ultra Cavern, and at the same time we get fungled over here. Oh no. Devastating moment for Babe Marine. I mean, cancelling Kindness Plane could have bought you a bit more time. That's very unfortunate. As the Medivacs try to back away and just getting out a little bit. Just going to be seeing the Ling Bane Ultra coming back through. Just going to be seeing the Banes crashing onwards. Just going to be seeing our couple of Ultras coming back through as well. As we're just going to be having the Ultra still diving forward. There's a lot of damage done. 16 SCVs, a base going down, the factory as well. maybe killing the Ultra Cabin would not have made that much of a difference. I don't think we had anything that was really going to take on Ultras in any sort of form, even if they have a delayed kindness plane upgrade. Because the Valkyries come through, Liberator getting set up. We are going to be seeing the couple Queens going to be there to hit that Liberator back the other way. More biles, and there goes the bit of damage again. The Ultras coming up, 3/3 upgrades coming through. Aztec Bomb is going to be firing about. And 3/3 coming by, the 3/2 upgrades coming up as well. It's going to be seeing the Medevac's just moving around the map, but you got to deal with this Zerg army, and I'm just not sure that that's really going to happen right now, to be honest. He's going to jump through. CC's going to get jumped on. Comes straight across, and again, that planetary fortress is going to get jumped on as well. It's going to take a lot more damage here already. I mean, not really, like I say, not really much to do here for Baby Marine. He could, I guess, sit behind this wall and really hope Mixu trades into him very badly. Kind of like this. It's the only way Baby Marine has a shot, right? And those trades have to be very bad because it has to outdo what is currently a 6-base Zerg. Or at least soon to be 6-base Zerg. Just seems very unlikely as the Liberator Siege continues. The Corrosive Vials will grab that. 2-1 Fest is coming up. The Burrow will start. Additional Zerglings on the way out. Hatcheries producing. Ultra thinking about stepping through as we see the CC on the left side lifting up. A couple tanks firing away. It's a nice fungal hitting a lot of those Marauders. Now the Vipers coming about as well. Dave Marine's sub 100 supply here as Mixu is looking to put the finishing touches to not just this game, but hence the series, right? A 3-1 victory seemingly imminent. Looking very good here for us to play. Really not, like I say, too many ways to throw this one. I mean, I honestly think even if you do click forward just with the Ultras and you take bad fights, I still think you're fine. You're on 92 drones, you might know a whole lot more. I guess the problem would be if you lost everything and the Terran could somehow come across the map and just have one surge in attack that you can't clean up. But it's not like this is a 150 army supply Terran. This is going to be like a 60 army supply Terran. Like, reinforcements should always be able to chip away at some amount of it. There's just not that critical mass where it should just become an impossibility, I don't think. So, yeah, not really feeling that as Fire Force comes through. Planetary, about half HP currently. The Zerglings moving around the map. I mean, Baby Marine's GG's before we have to continue to find a way to close this out for Mixu, apparently. And that will do it for us as we take a 3-1 victory. So Mixu moves on through. Mixu's next opponent will be Creator, man. His bracket's just stacked. So Creator is going to be... Creator lost to Cure. 2-3. Now he's going to play Mixu. This bracket really is stacked because the winner of that ends up playing the winner of the Young Yakov Spirit and Art series, which section of the bracket, which is what we're going to be going into next. Damn. Alright. Well, up next for us, Spirit versus Art. So we're going to take a couple moments. I'm going to step away for just a second, guys, stretch the legs. I'll be right back with you. More StarCraft 2 coming up in just a few. I'll see you after this. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for staying tuned as we take just a couple of moments to freshen up ahead of what is still 3 best-of-5s to come today. Spirit vs. Art coming up next. The winner of this plays young Yakov. Those are our next 2 best-of-5s. And, well, I don't know. I look at this and I think Spirit's a favorite, but maybe there's some upset potential. Spirit's been so solid lately, though. Like, he's been getting better and better and better. I don't know how much upset potential I really feel there is, but yeah, I guess we'll be finding out if there is any to focus on as we head into the top left side of the map with our blue Terran player. I'm going to be kicking this off with the favorite for the series, Spirit. He takes on the red Protoss in the bottom right corner. It is Art. Russian Art. There's 2 Arts in the StarCraft 2 world. They both play Protoss. One is the Polish Art, who has been around a lot longer. This is the Russian Art, who has been around a lot less time. Pretty darn good, but has not really done anything too significant in terms of events. Mostly participating in online cups like the OSC circuit. That's kind of the extent of where you see Art showing up, so yeah, I mean, like I say, that's why I have Spirit as a pretty big favorite here, but you never know. You know, some of these guys as well, you got to think about it, right? You got to think about the strength of this tournament, which is that Spirit's just going to come in and play a standard game, right? But Art may very well have done some preparing and done some preparations and figured out a couple cool builds he might, think is particularly good against Spirit, so he might have that kind of in his favor. That is what we will look to figure out here as we get this underway. Game 1 of this best of 5. Orbital Command coming up, Marine in production, Cybercore, Nexus, and Pylon all coming through as well. That goes the command center onto the natural as the orbital is going to finish. The Reaper's coming through. Probe will continue to nibble at that SCV, and the Marine will just come across chasing the probe down as well. Oh, and there's the stats from our stat man. Art's first OSC championship played, another newcomer to the OSC championship, while Spirit is playing in his 8th edition of this tournament. Second highest of anybody. Tied for second highest of anybody. I know Solar was playing in his 10th, which is obviously pretty nuts. Spirit playing his 8th here. Yeah, it makes sense for Spirit, right? He's an online grinder. He plays a lot of the online cups. He's been kind of growing and growing and getting better and better for a very long time. Makes sense that that's the kind of tournament he's been playing in. And being able to qualify to each year as well, just because of how much he plays in the online circuits. Like, he was always grinding a lot of the smaller cups as well. And still is, honestly, nowadays, so too many surprises to be had in that regard. Not too many to be had. Let's see our Adept going to come around. A couple probes going down across the map, but this Adept is going to get the SCV here. It's the Reaper that's just going crazy on the other side, apparently, so that's going huge and dealing some damage already, so away we go. We end up with, what, 3 SCVs going down to the Adept, 4 probes going down to the Reaper. Both plays a little bit messy on their initial opening in this game, as a couple of Marines are going to step forward, and the Helene is going to begin to make its way across the map, so it's going to journey out over to the bottom right. As Blink continues through, the robotics facility is coming up, a couple of additional probes building up from Art right now as well. And this Helene will be arriving onto the natural in the next few moments, where we can start to kind of pick away at a few more workers. So a couple of workers will continue to go down. Going to get 1 more probe, going to get 2 more probes. These probes are still pulling. We're just going to get ourselves number 3. Here goes number 4. Here goes 5. We finally warp in a Stalker or 2 to help, but it's already 6 dead workers. The Helene can run into the main base where the Stalkers just have to run after, and now we're going to get at least 1 more probe here, I'd imagine. Unless the micro is supreme from Art. He gets the double kill. All 3 of those shots were doubled up, and we're just going to GG right there. Oh my god. That was, I can't believe all three of those shots actually hit double probes and the same two probes. I actually can't quite believe the GG. Usually players game one at least stick in for a little bit and give it a go, you know, but Art says no. I've had enough already. I'd rather just see game two. I may have a realistic shot in the game because you're playing against someone as good as Spirit. He's going to be macroing behind that. He's not making those mistakes or macro errors. You know, you're not getting back in that game. So why play the game that's just going to end up being pretty bad for you, right? Just get into the next one. That's exactly what we plan on doing. Game number two, as we will go in and have ourselves the red Terran player in the top right corner of the map. This is Spirit. Taking on the blue Protoss in the bottom left-hand side, we have Art. I gave you flashbacks to what, playing PvT yourself? Hellions hitting the mineral lines? Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Game 2 of the series, as a panel 1 comes up, the depot comes down. The barracks starts as well. Just see our probe of Art beginning to move out onto the maps, just beginning to go out over to the middle for the moment. And away we go. Have a SCV chasing the probe. Probe will take some shots. Cybercore dropping in here from Art. Orbital command coming through. The Marine is on the way. Just going to see the SCV chasing the probe down for a few moments. So just going to get that going for a couple of moments here. Probe pulls back across again. Nexus, Cybercore, all coming up and online, bringing this through. So now, Marine gonna get across. Probe is gonna go down. Factory is building. Reactor coming through. Command center and supply depot coming about. Nexus building from Art. Well, obviously it looks fairly standard, but that doesn't mean it can't be quick. We saw in the last game how quickly everything can devolve, so let's see what happens on this one. WM, 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 and repeat a few times over. Picks Wardy as the SE2 guild. Finally, I've reclaimed my title. Thanks for casting and all the other stuffs. No, thank you so much for watching. Honestly, appreciate you being here. As Spirit drops down the proxied starport, so he ain't messing around. I mean, to be fair, proxy a starport doesn't seem too crazy. But it can do so much damage, and if Art is not in position, it's the sort of thing which is definitely a little bit of a skill check. It's like, well, hey, show me you can deal with a Hellion drop, and then we can play, right? And this is a very good build, it's just good in general. But I think that's the point of view Spirit probably has to it, where it's like, well, show me that I need to do something else than just try and kill you with Hellions. I mean, maybe this time you're not just going to try and run in and kill him, but kills the Adept here, that doesn't get away. The SCVs can repair the Hellion. The other SCVs stuck on the high ground can come to the low ground now instead. More Hellions about to pop, and obviously they will run across the map and jump into that medevac and jump to the main base, so see how much damage Spirit may find as we follow the quadruple Hellions going across the map. Four Hellions load up, into the main base we go. Hey, the units are on the way over, so watching out units nearby. It's a pretty decent sim city. Hellions are not going to have an easy access in, which gives the Stalkers more time to deal damage. Finish off the first Hellion. 3 workers lost. Oh, that's good. That's a great defense, actually, from Art. That's a fantastic defense. Only 3 workers lost here is very good. I will say it again. That's very impressive. Well, good SimCity of the main base, makes it difficult for the Hellions to get where they need to be. Pulls the probes in with the battery when there's not multiple Hellions for the one shot. Yeah, just very well executed defense. Very, very good job. Medevac pulls back to the center of the map. Engineering bay, barracks both coming up. The starport getting to the top side as well. Tank just going to siege there as the engineering bay is about to finish up. Finished engineering bay, couple of marines coming out. Hellion drops down as the SCV pulls across. We're going to get to some repairing. In +1 stim in production, the missile turret will come on the side of Spirit, so we keep that going as the observer sets up here and just has a little bit of an eye as what's going on. Again, Marines, the Heli, and the Marauder. Two more depots coming about, reactors coming through as the refinery from Spirit just finishing up as well. A few SCVs jumping into the gas. And our hallucination just going to go around that bottom right side. Just looking to see what's up. Now going to come back up the right-hand side. Missile turret going to go bang bang. Hit the hallucination for a couple of shots as we have a few stalkers approaching the front. They have blinks, so it's nice for them to kind of be on the map and pick away at anything that tries to come across the other side. In general, with blink, there's always going to be some efficiency we had, such as 2 SCVs trying to make a wall off. So we get those immediately. So it's just coming back over. Couple of Zods coming back through. Couple units loading into the bunker again. Medevac's coming down that right-hand side. Just going to be settling as we have the Immortal in production. Robo Bay coming up. And that +1 attack upgrade finishing up on the Forge as we do see the Immortal Corona boosting once more. And there's Bio Army of Spirit going to head back down through the bottom side for the moment here. So Bio will gather up. We actually do have ourselves these Stalkers at the front trying to press through. The Bio's going to be there to push it back. And Zealot's going to try and run by as well. Spirit going to get a little heads up on these with this Medevac spotting it. He's going to probably have to pull back home just to deal with those. Does not want to let them do too much. Zealot's just going to go down. 3 SCVs have fallen. As we go, I think Spirit obviously wants to go across the map to test his luck. There's going to be a Colossus out, admittedly without range, but hey, it's some splash damage. Lots of shells will start as well. Sentry, Colossus, Zealot coming about. Just going to be seeing the units coming in. Just going to be seeing the Zealot's going to try and charge into this. The tank goes down. The Widowmine's already doing decently though. Just going to be seeing the Bio trying to collapse in on this. The Colossus will go down. The Mortals and the Stalker are going to get jumped on. I'm just going to be seeing the couple of units getting chased away. The rest of the Bio coming over. Widow Mines as well. Plus on the left side. Actually, very now he goes down. Okay, now it does go down. To be fair, a lot of Spirits units are low. I guess you don't really get bonus points for having units low. Just going to be seeing the Bio coming across. And that is going to be probably just enough to get the GG. And that's going to be that. So GG called. Spirit takes game number 2, and it's a 2-0 lead for our favorite Terran in this series, who is not messing about. Alright, we'll just go into game number 3, guys. Fast games. We don't even need an ad break yet because we've just been speeding through, so we can just head straight to a game 3. And let's see if Spirit can just close out. Speeding the day up a little bit. Actually, the first couple series of this Well, Masters Coliseum wasn't exactly quick. And then, then our first couple of series, I mean, Arogfire Jumi was a good series, Mixu Baby Marine was a good, decently length best of 5. Yeah, we had a couple longer series today, and I guess this one maybe is not quite headed the same direction just yet. In the top right, our blue Terran is Spirit, and in the bottom left, our red Protoss is Art. Game 3 of our best of 5. So Rex and the gas coming through, getting the assimilator coming up and gets all down. The gas is building, the barracks coming through, just going to see the probe coming across the map. Maybe heading into the natural, heading into the main. And as we just scout in. So gateway coming online, barracks coming through. Everything looking pretty normal for the first handful of moments here in this game 3. Probe takes another nibble or so. Just going to be seeing the SCV still chasing that probe around. Factory will drop into place again. Nexus and the Cyber Core coming up. Just going to be seeing the probe again straight onto that SCV to try and be as annoying as possible. Get rid of the probe in the main base. The Reaper can now go across the map and we'll get some scouting done. If it gets over, Pylon is going to drop down. River jumps. Just going to be having the Twilight Council coming through, the Stalker and the Warp Gate all coming up. The Reaper's going to fire up a couple of shots there. And Reaper going to hop back down into the center of the map. Blink still coming online, Warp Gate coming through. The Adept here is going to start hitting that Reaper, which takes quite a few shots. The grenade goes down, the Adept shades back. And again, Siege Tank and Marines from Spirit continue to produce, so just bringing all of that into play for the moment. The Robo Facility will come up alongside the gateway, Adept going across the map currently. Moves its way through. It's going to drop a shade down, see what we're doing. They're going to get over. A couple of SCVs will get picked off, so some damage being dealt. The SCVs pull through. The Adept going to go shading. It's going to be having our an attempted little bit of move about. Nothing too crazy. Everyone's just scouting about. Spirit is doing something a bit not really crazy, but he is pushing. Tanking the medevac, plus the Marines and the Riddermine following up. Tank drops down here. This is not a great position for Art because Pylon's exposed. Probably have to battery the pylon, which is not ideal because that's a lot of energy being used straight away. Widowmine actually going to kill a Stalker as well. Blink finishes now. Do we want to dive for the Siege Tank? No, we don't. Energy Overcharge is going to go back onto that pylon with the battery, so the battery is doing its best to buy time. Medevac will fall, though. Going to limit what the Marines feel like they may be able to do. Now we're targeting down the Robo Facility. Second pylon came up on that right side, so Robo would be a better kill. Couple of Stalkers low HP, forced backwards, and Spirit even getting a few probes here as he target fires those. I think it's worth finishing the Robo off though, because now no Immortal popping out. second tank about to spawn, and with a few Stalkers haven't gone down already, it's scary to blink on top of those siege tanks now that they're spread out especially. Plus there's a Widowmine there. Widowmine's going to be able to go off on the Stalkers. Tanks help. Stalkers die. Spirit will be able to sit on the front here still and just continue to punch on through. Another pylon goes down. We see our Stalkers still trying to come back around. Warp gate will be picked off as well. Another Marine coming over. The Marines and the tanks setting up too. Stepping forward right now. 2 gates and a robot facility coming up as well. Close siege. Just going to be seeing those probes still dying. This is just going to be... Yeah, I mean, Spirit in a very good position. This tank is in a weird angle because he's on this bit of terrain and this bit of terrain. It's a bit funny, but apparently it's not affecting his aim. He's still hitting that Nexus nicely. And yeah, Spirit just going to make a pretty clean sweep of this series, right? I mean, this is not one to discuss in depth. First game ended when he killed a few probes. Second game was probably the closest. This game obviously dies to the tank push, but second game, I mean, I feel like Odd had some opportunities, was trying to set up for some things, but still couldn't do enough, and just didn't have enough army towards the end either, so... G. A G. That, my friends, is how we wrap up another series. That was a very fast one. That was a very fast one. We'll have to run some ads because we didn't run ads at all through the series, so we'll run some ads between games. I'm just going to stand up and stretch a little bit again, guys, so I'll be back in a moment. But Young Yakov versus Spirit will be next then, because Yakov was waiting for the winner of this match. So we'll have Young Yakov versus Spirit. I'll see you guys in just a few. Hello and welcome back, guys. Thank you for joining us, and especially for waiting through the ads and a little bit extra. Alright, Alright, so it's going to be young Yakov versus Spirit TV. We're going to start on Romanticide. Oh, potentially a big map for these guys to begin on. Spirit TV Z, you never know, never know. Let's see what happens. Excuse me. We get this ready to rumble. Alright, so we'll pick this off and we'll get this going into this Spirit vs. Yakov series. Alright, young Yakov drops down here because he lost to Skillus. Yeah, so he played Skillus the other day. Skillus got the better of him, and he drops down to the lower bracket to play the winner of this Spirit Art match, which is obviously Spirit. Alright. What is Romanticide? Great name, isn't it? Does it really have any meaning? Probably not. Top left, Spirit. Bottom right, Yakov. Game number 1 of this best of 5 series as we get this underway. And look to see just what our plan will be. Yes, Romanticide is a song, but then what is the song about? Killing in the name of love? In the name of love or in the name of romance? Are those two different things? So we're coming across, and this is going to be seeing now STV heading down toward the bottom right hand side. So we're going to be seeing Spirit just coming across here early. It's a Reaper only opening from him, nothing too out of the ordinary just yet. As that factory comes through, the link speed starts. A couple of links going to turn onto that SCV already. And that SCV just going to be moving across, so a couple of links going to go through. Again, the link speed coming about, the Queen and the Lings all producing, and a lot of this on the way for the moment. So, yeah, nothing too wild as the SCV backs off. We'll follow the Reaper instead, which actually catches the couple of Lings off the pool first, trying to come across the map as a little bit of a surprise factor. So we'll come through and clean those up, which is even nicer. Now there's the Reaper coming across the map, knows there's no other Lings really, or shouldn't be too many other Lings on the map. As again, extra lanes coming about, link speed coming over. And the Zerglings will be coming over to the left-hand side. So, making some moves. just gonna see those things going up that left-hand side. Hey, Reaper. I'm going to get some kills. Just gonna have the Lings coming over too. I mean, this is gonna be just not just a Ling foot, but then a Lingbane burst. Spirit keeping his Hellions in the main base, absolutely the right idea. I mean, his setup against this, he knows there's gas still mining, so he's just being extremely cautious right now. Starfall gonna drop down in the tech lab. Hellions gonna stay behind the wall off, force the Banes to use themselves on the wall. And then you've just got Hellions to deal with the Zerglings is generally the idea. Lings waiting to show themselves. Going to show a few right now. Maybe try and bait the Hellions down so that the rest of the Lings come across. But yeah, Spirit's playing pretty safe. Pulling the SCVs back rather than rolling the Hellions after that. I think that's a good job as the rest of the Hellions come through. That Hellion scouting, I love it. Okay, he's going to lose one Hellion, but for the sake of knowing what's coming his way now is... We are going to still see 3 Hellions available. Shots on the Banes don't do much for you, though softening a couple up might help. 3 Hellions to continue here as this is really do or die right now from Yakov. Has to do a lot of damage, obviously, into the main base. The Lings running around. The Banshee will help. The SCVs probably don't want to stack up trying to kill a Baneling. Somehow that didn't go badly for you as Spirit. Oh my god. As in, obviously, I think the defense was looking to be good anyways, but the fact that Baneling didn't go off on any of the SCV clusters is a little bit bonkers. A little bit bonkers. GG's. Alright, so Spirit takes the first game. Another fast game, actually. I really was... Every time I see Romanticide, I always think back to, I think specifically there was a lot of games between like Hero Marine and Clem on Romanticide that played... was it? When was Romanticide in the ladder map pool? Am I thinking back too far? ...2020 to 2021, yeah, COVID, just post-COVID, and it was on the ladder map pool during a lot of the ESL Open Cup Europes when Hero Marine and Clem played a lot, and man, we casted some long days of StarCraft 2, because they would play a 40-minute TVT on Romanticide, you know? So, thank you so much for the level 20 on the Royal match, I appreciate that so much. Let's just check what your name was. It was Hippopontamus. Thank you so much, I appreciate it. Hell, yeah. Let's go into game number 2, guys. El Dorado, gonna be map number 2 then. I'll get straight into it. Let's see if young Yakov can fight back. His attempt at Lingbane bust there, obviously a little bit of a flop. Let's head into game number 2. In the bottom left-hand side, our blue Terran player. This is going to be up 1 game in the series. Spirit taking on the red Zerg in the bottom right corner, young Yakov. Game 2 of our best of 5 here on El Dorado. So, we start on El Dorado. Just an overlord coming across the map. Coming across, moving over. Overlord coming across, just going to be seeing the Reaper in the orbital command coming through. The SCV going to go out the front. And again, Hatch in the pool coming up. A couple of drones on the way in. Just going to see that SCV going over to that right-hand side. It's just going to journey over to the right. Reaper Orbital Command Center coming about. I'm just going to be having the Hedge Gas and Pool coming through for the moment. SCV just going to hide, and the Reaper is going to be there as well, so Reaper might try and protect that SCV to get out, or maybe that SCV has a plan. And some gold minerals here. Okay. Gonna get out of here. Reaper going to start harassing. First drone is going to go down, so first drone falls. Has a couple Zerglings going over, and the Reaper is going to take a few more shots. Again, Queen, Link Speed, couple of drones in the over will continue to come through. We've seen the Queen whacking away. Reaper taking some shots. CC's building factory and a reactor. Coming up on the barracks. Just going to be seeing our Reaper still moving around. Going to be seeing the Queen and the Lings. Just going to be there pushing that Reaper back out into the center. We're still chilling, the link speed coming up, the extra drones coming through our hatchery. Just on the way up, Reaper's still moving around. Seeing the Lings coming through. The Lings will get that Zergling. Just going to be seeing the hatch on the bottom side. Going to see the hatch on the gold. Double expanding early to go up to 4 bases here. We'll give him early access to that gold base, so gets that underway as the Banshee and the Hellions continue through. The cloaking continuing up. Tech lab on the barracks. The Hellions of Spirit making their way toward the right-hand side for a few moments. Again, the Banshee, the Hellion, the cloaking all continuing through. Aliens are just waiting. I'm having the map right here. Honestly, I thought I'd feel the same. I actually really like ley lines. Ley lines I've been loving so much. The Spirit goes in, and he's going to commit for drones. How many do we get? Anything short of 5, I'd say, is not worth it here for Spirit. And that's nice. Oh, drones building up, spores on the way through. Link's coming across the map. Link's going to come about. Banshee going to be there. Engineering bays in the barracks. On the way up as you just see those Links getting turned away. Creep team is coming to the front. Again, Baneling Nest, Lair, drones all continuing to get back on track for the moment. Going to move back to the natural as again the other Ling moving elsewhere here still. 4 additional barracks all coming up. And more upgrades, stim pack coming through as well. The Zergling just going to patrol on the left hand side. And that's finishing as the Reaver Chamber's coming up. Banshee's going to go after some drones. Couple drones going down. Ling's on the other side going to get a depot and maybe even more. The Hellions should mostly clean this up though. I'm just going to get 6 drones going down. 7 workers going down as well. Banshee going to be finding up a little bit more. Whoa! I mean, very low HP, but still good damage done so far. So we've seen 17 drones going down. There goes a Banshee. The other Banshee gets up the right side. I mean, honestly, really good. Still, even if you lose the Banshees, I think 18 drones for the Hellions and the Banshees so far have been fantastic. It slows Yakov down a lot, right? It gives you time to set up into your very comfortable position. 1-on upgrades, combat shield coming through. The Medivacs, Marines, and Barracks all building up still. As the Lings run back into the center. Marines is going to get there. Overlord will go down. The unit's still pushing over that right-hand side. Ling's going to push on the left. It's going to be seeing the Marines are going to be there. Marines just going to move back over. The 2-2 upgrades coming through. Combat shield coming up. Melee upgrades, carapace upgrades continue to come around. The Ling's going to get to the right side. Overlord goes. Spirit starts to push. Starting to see the remnants of that kind of worker loss of Yakov seeping through, as now he's just struggling a little bit for army supply. Marine's going to drop back down. A couple of Banes going to take some shots. The rest of the army still coming through the center. On the top side, those Lings going to go running about as well. Tanks still just sieging. Just going to be seeing the extra Banes morphing. He steps straight up. Couple Queens going down. Creep tumors are falling as well. Bane's going to roll down this ramp too. Still have, excuse me, Ling Bane running around the upper left-hand side. The Banes want to roll down this ramp. The siege tank is going to be there, putting a bit more pressure on. Creep tumors going down too. I mean, young Yakov is really putting a lot on this counterattack. He needs damage, and he kind of needs it right now. He needs to force Spirit to turn around with this army, or to pay a lot of attention at home, or to have to make up for all the damage he's taken. Something has to give in the favor of Yakov, as we are going to be seeing the Ling Bane gets through. Doesn't even have to bust the depot down to get onto the natural. Ling Bane keeps moving through. But tanks will siege. Ling Bane still moving by. A couple of SCVs. Extra Bane is going to be down the bottom. 3 SCVs going to get busted. That's a lot of workers going down. The Marine tank continuing to come over. A couple of Banes getting knocked as we continue over as well. Going to stand and stim. The Marines going to sit there. The Bane's going to keep rolling through. Ling Bane going to be whacking away. The extra Marines getting hit. Going to be seeing the Marines coming back over. Overseer going down. A couple extra Banes dropping. I mean, Banes continue to just hit. They're just drones pulling back over. Balin Ness is going to fall. He is going to do a lot for Spirit continuing to do work here. He lost a lot of SCVs, but now Yakov just has to clean up this army that's going to be incredibly tough without Banes. He will have the Ultras spawning at least soon. And she's going to fire. A couple of Banes going down as well. Tanks still setting up. Marines pushing up to this high ground. Couple Lings, Queens moving over. Just going to be seeing the rest of the Lings jumping about. Just going to see the Ultras going down. They don't have tightness and they don't have +2 carapace. They're just thin as paper. They've got no defense on them. Ultras actually do die to Marines when they don't have the upgrades. Oof. Oof. Alright, well, that's a 2-0 lead for Spirit. Alright, I'm going to kick off into game number 3. It's going to be Spirit versus young Yakov. Get this one on the way as we'll host this up, get this going, and kick this into action. Alright, let's do this. Setting game. Ley line's going to be our map 3 here as Spirit takes the 2-0 lead, a map away from closing this out. Oh, let's get this started. In the top right hand side, we have ourselves the blue Terran player. It is going to be Spirit. As in the bottom left, our red Zerg is Yakov. Game 3. Can Yakov bounce back? I really believe, man. I always feel as though Yakov's one of those players I'm always going to have a bit of hope for. I actually think he's very, very good. I always feel like he can take maps off Spirit. I don't think I'd ever predict Spirit to win 3-0, you know, against Yakov. I think Spirit can win 3-0, I just don't think I'd predict it. I think I'd always say that Yakov steals a map in a best of 5. Especially in events like this, I feel like maybe if this was like, maybe in like huge qualifiers or something. Yeah, maybe in like huge qualifiers or like super important events, I'd have a little bit more faith in Spirit. But an event like OSC Championship, online tournament, I could really, yeah, I pretty much think I'd always say Yakov takes a map. So let's see if I'm right or wrong. As our Ovi comes across to the upper right hand side. We start us off, it's just going to be moving across, Hatch, Gas, and Pool all coming into play. The Racks and the Reaper and the Orbital are building for a few moments. So, away we go, journeying through. It's going to be seeing our Reaper and Orbital building, the SCV coming down, and the Overlord going to get to the upper right in the next couple of moments. We'll see where we go. It's going to be having our SCV. I'm going to move across as well. Link space builds. Ling's on the way. A couple Queens building out. Just going to be seeing our Marine and the CC building 2. We have the Overlord chilling out overhead and the Reaper pulling back. We just swap between bases a little bit. So a couple Queens coming about, the Link speed builds, the Overlord is coming online. And yeah, we take a few moments just to settle ourselves into this game 3 of the best of 5. Ley lines, our map. Like I said, I've been loving this map. So many bases on the map, and yet not a map that encourages slow play. Hossam said it the other day. I think I said it to you, Hossam, or some combination of that. It's like the map maker finally got the assignment and like nailed it, you know? Like, yo, this is a ton of bases, but the map doesn't have to be sat back and you're guaranteed 4 bases because there's a ton of bases, right? Or, you know, going to base 5 isn't difficult. The layout is just so good, this kind of way that it works kind of circular. And so you've always got that chance of kind of expanding towards your opponent. And it creates more more attacking patterns as you move out, because the fact that you kind of work around the top in this kind of circular pattern, it's very cool. Like, it seems so simple, and yet it's so fresh. You know, and I guess that's what's so good about this, is that it does seem, you know, it's not overly complicated, it doesn't overcomplicate the problem of the maps. It feels natural, and like I say, simple. But simple is effective, and this time simple, in this case, simple is kind of new and different as well. There's a couple of Marines gonna sit there, pick away at an Overlord. We will get a kill with that. Barracks giving itself up for a while to get this Overlord is obviously going to take a little bit. That means you're going to be what? I mean, missing out on a reactor perhaps? Tech lab? And anything you'd usually do at this point is going to be, you know, something which kind of ends up delayed. That's by a serious amount too. Flying over here, floating back. 20, 30 seconds or so. So fairly significant investment just to get rid of the Overlord early in the game, as the two Hellions and the Reaper will make their way down to the bottom left and attempt to see what's going on. Baneling Nest coming through, the additional Zerglings coming about. It's not a super early Baneling Nest, but there's a lot of Lings on the way, so it does kind of feel like we might have a Baneling bust and some big aggression from young Yakov. He spots the Liberator coming across, so he might be able to start preemptively dealing with that as the Zerglings continue to make their way to the other side. The Hellions coming back into the middle of the map. It's going to be, what, 6 Hellions and a Reaper? Gathering up at the moment and prepping a possible attack into this mineral line. See what we get. A couple of Zerglings go down. The Hellions are going to get there. A couple of drones are going to fall. There's a lot of Lings on the way. These Hellions are actually very important if this does turn out to just be a massive Ling Bane assault from Yakov, which I'm pretty sure at this stage it's going to be. I don't really see which other direction we can take this. 9 more Banelings morphing. It's just non-stop Zerglings. Spirit is bunkering up. He actually put the Liberator back at home, sieged up on the front, so he's even going to evacuate the SCVs. Dude knows what's up, man. As these Hellions are waiting to kind of grab the Lings coming across the map, the Banes will just bust through the front. The Hellions will meet the Zerglings midway, though, and we will just stand there and fight. Now, that's a great grenade. It was going to hit dead center, and it really did. The Lings get spread apart. That's a completely shut down play by Spirit. I mean, he just annihilates this, no? The depots, you kill depots in a bunker that wasn't even finished building. The Lings never even got to join the Banelings. That's a very, very good defense from Spirit. Definitely figuring out what was going on. And I think from Yakov just delayed a bit too. I think he ran back for the Hellions a little bit at first. The first few Lings morphing into Banes was a bit late. Like I said, it wasn't like the fastest Baneling nest, which kind of had me a little bit kind of wondering in the first place. And then we kind of see the effect of that not being a fast Baneling nest anyways, because by the time there's 6 Hellions on the map, unless you've killed those Hellions, they're going to be very good against a lot of Lings. Like, Hellions scale way better than Lings at that stage of the game. So if you're going to fight 6 Hellions with Zerglings, you're going to have a bad time, and yet that was pretty much what we got set up to do. There wasn't really anything else we could change at that point. Two drones going down as the Liberator shows itself, and we'll see the Queen continuing on to the Liberator for a few more moments, and Liberator just going to say, I'll sit here and cancel a couple of drones, kill off a couple as well, force some lost mining time. 6 more workers killed here by Spirit as he is once again extending a lead in this game, number 3. The couple of Lings come across, the Reaper gets chased away. 1-1 upgrades and the combat shield still a building. So what, you get those upgrades going from Spirit, that's going to be a big factor as well. More Lings up around the top side. The Hellions and the Medivacs joining up too. Marines and a siege tank will continue over here. Banes is going to begin to morph, and here we go. Hellions and Marines are going to step through. The siege tank will come forward as well. A couple of Hellions going to go after the Ling Bane. Hatchery taking some more shots. Tank's just whacking away. Yakov says, I cannot fight this because my investment into the Ling Bane attack was too much. It did nothing. And obviously then Spirit coming across the map with an army to follow that up is going to be extremely consistent at winning the game. Alright guys, that leaves us one matchup left today, which is going to be Rebellion versus Solo. So Spirit just wins that one. Double back-to-back, just convincency, some Spirit. It'd be good to see him getting deeper in this tournament and meeting some real challenges, because he's very good, and I expect him to continue winning until he sees some of that opposition kind of rising up a little bit. Okay guys, without any further ado, let's do some ads, come back, and then we've got Rebellion versus Solo coming up for our final series of the day. So it's a little bit of PvZ, and that's going to be coming up in just a few moments. So we'll be back just after this. And I'll see you guys in a few for Rebellion Solo PvZ Best of 5. Welcome back, welcome back. We've got one series left today. As mentioned, it's Rebellion taking on Solar. We get into this best of 5 with first map being... I think it's Amygdala. It's stuck behind my chat box as I load in. It is Amygdala. So Rebellion Solar. This is another very much so a series where we've got a favorite, right? Rebellion. Joined us after he played a lot of online stuff throughout the year and earned a lot of OSC points. Got to start in the upper bracket. Got 3-0'd by Nightmare. Drops down to play a Solar who took a 3-1 victory over Lemon in the first round of the lower bracket. And this is going to be our... this is actually our last series of the day. So yes, this is our last series of the day. More OSC Championship continues next week. I will not be here for their first broadcast on Wednesday, but I'll be back for Thursday's broadcast. And just a little reminder, guys, as well, I'm not here over the weekend. I'm at a Pokemon tournament this weekend, so cheer for me. And like I said, I'll not be here for any of the Masters Coliseum stuff this weekend either. We'll probably catch up on that at some point when we have a day free. Right now, there's not a lot of days free. There's a lot of just StarCraft happening non-stop all the time, so even in the off-season, I think that is going to chill out a little bit in February, although I've got a couple of plans of stuff we can do on February as well, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, friends, let's do it. Top right, Solar. Bottom left, Rebellion. I mean, Rebellion's the player who I see in my tournaments all of the time. I see him check in, I drag him up in the seedings, and I put him usually about 16th or so. And what 16th means is he's obviously not in the very top of the top, where it's like Claire, Max, Max, Dark, and Hero. And then you've got your Skilluses, and your Classics, and Gumihos. And then you come down a little bit, and usually around that point, around 13 to 16, we have a few players who are like, maybe like an Arogfire, or like a, I'm not going to say Geralt, he's a little bit higher than that, but like an Arogfire and a Babe Marine. That's where I put Rebellion when it comes to the seeding. So that's my opinion of Rebellion, and I think it's a fairly accurate one. He, like I say, plays in a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, doesn't get through the first round or first couple of rounds all too often, so we don't get to cast him that much. That's the beautiful part of the OSC Championship, is that you can, check this out and you can play, and participation really does matter. And I'm sure Rebellion's had some great results in some of the smaller events as well that I just don't follow as much, because to get into the top 24 of OSC and to start on that winner bracket is not easily done in the slightest. So, yes, I'm sure it'll be fun to see what he can bring out here. I mean, it's always rough, though, because it's like, this is it. We get to see Rebellion and his effort after the full year, and the first time we cast him, he plays Nightmare. It's like, oh, well, that's not pretty. And then he plays Solar. It's like, oh, God, you really just had a horrible bracket. Like, there's no one that's going to look at this and, be shame on you, Rebellion, if you got 3-0'd by Nightmare and you somehow get 3-0'd by Solar here as well, right? Like, that's not unexpected results, but it's not indicative of the effort he's putting throughout the year. So, hoping he puts in a couple of cool matches as we get this final series for us today coming through. Gonna knock down those rocks. Just gonna be seeing the Overlord hanging out overhead. Probe is coming to the bottom left-hand side here from Rebellion. Just gonna move this straight over. Stalking the Sentry in the wall-off. And Forge coming up, Immortal and Warp Gate coming through as well. High ground vision as Rebellion just knocks away at that first Overlord. We'll get taken down, so that Overlord will fall already. That's a supply block for Solar. A couple of moments. Maybe not the biggest deal, but hey. It actually lasts a bit longer because he only had one of the Overlords ready to go, and the second Overlord was a bit further back, so yeah, little supply block initially, losing that Overlord. And so we do have our Immortal building on the side of Rebellion. So getting that Immortal up, the Warp Gate finishing, +1 attack. Building as well right here for the moment. And yeah, just going to see our Stalker poking the Ling back the other direction. The Ling on the bottom side of Solar chilling as well. Third hatchery just setting up, just going to be chilling. I don't know if Solar is going to want to do too much crazy in this match. I wonder if he's just going to kind of let this kind of be Rebellion to kind of set the pace early, and then he's just going to respond to it as he needs to kind of take the win. And this is exactly what Rebellion's doing in this game 1, because he's cranking out his third Immortal of the game. There's going to be a Prism to follow this, there's going to be a lot of sentries, and there's going to be a big push across the map in the very near future. Stalker just going to be there. A couple of Lings get turned the other direction. Just going to try and come through once again right now. Just going to see if they can do anything on the wall off. Answer is not really, so nothing really comes of that. As the Lings threaten, I mean, you see the Immortals, that tells you enough here is still an instant cancel on the lair. So he gets rid of the lair, and he can just make more Roach Ravager on the back of this now. So just going to go straight into it. Away we go. As again, that single circling just continues through. The Stalker continuing across, and the Overlord will move through as well. So just going to be seeing that Overlord going to get knocked down. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Ling's going to hit the pylon, and there is going to be an Adept here, which is just going to swing through a couple of Lings, and the other Lings continuing across for a moment. Things nibbling. Again, we got ourselves the Roaches, the Ravagers coming through, the missile upgrade. What the? I don't know, but missile upgrade? The Spine Crawler coming up as well. My brain really made its own solution to that one right there as the Immortals coming through. The Queen's going to fire a couple force fields, drop into place. Corrosive Bar's going to break through some of those first force fields. Solo just spamming units. You pretty much just got to go, go, go right now. Here is Rebellion. Obviously, you've set up to be aggressive like this. This is not really a slow it down and chill out moment at all. We are going to step up. Spinecrawler going to take a few shots of damage. The Lings are going to trail forward. Zealots are going to step up there as well. A couple of Vials. Going to knock down a Sentry. And the Ling Roach Ravager Queen going to keep coming through as well. It's just going to keep moving across. A couple of Immortals continue to drop into place. There's going to be a chunk of Zealots warping in as well. We are going to see the Ravagers, the Queens, the Roaches just going to keep on pushing through. The Prism avoids over to the side. A couple more Immortals still dodging around as well. The Zergling's is getting picked away at. The Sentry's going down. Roach Ravager continues through. There goes one Immortal. Another couple of Immortals just loading up. Going to back away. That Roach Ravager Ling Force pulling back up to the top as the Immortal is going to continue after the Ravagers here at the moment. A couple of Lings getting picked away at. They're on the way through. Lings, Queens, all building. The army of Solar is going to be right there to try and push this back. I mean, 2 Immortals and a Prism are very good, but probably not good enough to make this work. As we have the Prism just moving back to the top high ground here. And a couple of Ravagers still getting knocked down. Another couple of Corrosive Bars that we dodge away from. Ling Roach Ravagers still showing up. Twilight Council, Lair, drones, everything coming through at the moment. Prism takes a couple of shots even as it is forced to back away. On the other side of the map, did that Ling just kill a pylon? I don't even know. Charge on the way up as we try to just mass charge Lot Immortal for round 2. Predator Rebellion, he ain't going to go down without a fight. He's going to come down swinging, whether you want him to or not right now, as the Prism moves about a little bit as well. Prism hangs on the right side again. Charge on the way up. I mean, if Rebellion sends it with charge, I don't think it'll work. I think Solar defended very comfortably the first time around. Resource loss is fine for him. He's up 20 workers. All logic points to this game kind of already being done, to be honest. Now, is there a way Solar... I'm trying to think, is there a way Solar messes it up? Probably if he lets, like, 10 Zealots in his main base and he doesn't respond to them while trying to fight at the front and it doesn't go as well at the front as it should do, you know? I don't think there's a way, basically. Like, sometimes, you know, people tell me, "Wardy, you tell us the game's over too much," and maybe sometimes I do. I really think this is one of the times where I just think the game is over. Lings getting in are going to double down on that idea as the Zealots and the Pros will continue to get picked away at. And, yeah, I mean, they're going to get cleaned up, but there's a bunch of Probes going down. We're now down to 31 workers in the game from Rebellion. He was only at 38 before, so that's another -7. Bam Bam with those Corrosive Bars. Spinecrawler firing, another couple of barrels. Bam Bam Bam. Not gonna hit. I don't know why I'm doing sound effects for barrels right now that aren't even really bile sounds. Here come the Zealots. As they charge through, the Spinecrawler will do a little bit of the tanking. Corrosive Bars coming in though. The Zealots held position there for a second. Force Field's gonna come through too. We should have barrels knock those Force Fields down pretty quickly to let... I mean, the Roach Ravager keep fighting, but I think they could fight anyways because the Zealots ran into range. And as the Zealots melt away, +1 upgrade did not turn this around some way, somehow. And that is going to be the Immortals chased down afterward. And Solar is going to take game number 1 of this best of 5 series. Congrats to Solar for taking an opening map in this best of 5, holding off the Immortal Sentry Shove. Thank you so much, Pizza, for the 16-month resub on the Prime. Thank you very much. And tagged on the 55-month resub. Are you guys ready for your monthly dosage of number theory? 55 is the 10th Fibonacci number, the 10th triangular number, and the sum of all 55's... the sum of 55's digits is 10. Nice, all the 10s. It's the 5th heptagonal number of the form 5n squared minus 3n over 2. The 5th square pyramidal number. Just look it up. It's the 19th semi-prime and a square free one. Ooh, I love a square free prime. It's also the 4th centered nonagonal number. 55, man. There you go. 55 is a number, huh? It holds a lot of stats. And what else is 55? I actually have no idea. That's gonna be like 55 cells till we go in game. But I'm just gonna go in game right now, to be honest. So yeah. Basically. Let's do this as we kick off into ley lines for map number 2. in the bottom left-hand side, our red Zerg player from Falcons. It is Solar taking on the blue Protoss. In the top right corner of the map, we have Rebellion. Game 2 of our series, and away we go here on Leylines. What was Rebellion's previous tag? I don't think he had a previous tag. I think he's always been Rebellion. He's just a Korean player that's never really been in a GSL or anything like that. Just plays some StarCraft, enjoys it, plays a lot of the online cups. Gyul Zing. Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna know Gyul Zing either, though, right? Yeah, this is not some guy who you're gonna have heard of. Another idea of BS. Probe nibbles. And as we go back and forth, the spawning pool, hatchery, drones all coming in. Gonna have our probe moving about, Cybercore Nexus and the probe coming in, hatching the pool, already accompanied by the gas. Take a few moments as the Overlord just gonna go and journey across into the upper right hand side. Just gonna check out the natural, see what's up over here, have a look to see what's going on for these first few moments. So yeah, a little bit of scouting being done. Overlord just going to be chilling here for a couple of moments, sitting nearby as we have our Adept coming across the map. See if Rebellion can find any information over the next couple of moments. Just going to be seeing the Queen hitting that Adept. The Adept going to shade up for a couple of moments into the ward of the main base. Trying to see a little bit of what's going on. As yeah, Void Ray coming through. The warp gate in production. We get that all set up here as the couple probes come in as well. The Adept will continue to come across. Adept just chilling out. Cybercore coming through. Gateway coming up. Again, that Void Ray Corona boosting on the Stargate as the Zerglings will go and head towards the upper right-hand side. Void Ray going to shoot a couple of Lings going down. The Twilight Council builds in the main base. The Zerglings get chased away for a couple of moments. It's the Twilight Council coming through. We do see the Zergling heading to the upper right side as well. We're just gonna get over. Ling gonna go down. Thousand Enclaves will just start. The Ling is gonna be there. Adept is gonna fall. Again, Rotron coming up. As we do just have the Glaive attempt here from Rebellion. So gonna mix in a couple of different aggressive builds basically. As these Lings get through, though, and It's not really ideal because Solo's going to get a full scout, so he's going to be completely aware of what's going on. Bling's going to go after those probes. A couple of workers going down. Probe gets picked off again. 14 more Lings going through. The Overlord speed coming about. Resonating Glaives. Building on that Twilight Council. Just going to bring that up as well. Lots of Lings around the top side. That's just going to shade down. Queen's going to be there. Oh, gets picked off. We do have ourselves the Adepts. Obviously, going to try and do that thing right now. Roach is on the way up. We do not have many. Yeah, we actually got 7 that just held back. Okay. We're not going to shade, but I think it's probably a good idea. Try and fight these Queens. Take an uneven fight in your favor. Zergan's going to come back in and try and fight this. To threaten the shade again. And that's a good move because, again, you're threatening the shade, which means the units have to chase. And it gives you a chance to take position. Adept's going to fly, Queen going to be going down, a couple of roaches still coming through. The Adept's going to shade over to the left-hand side. We're just going to gather up still. I mean, the Adept numbers is dropping. You can see Rebellion is kind of clearly not done enough. Resources lost is heavily in Solo's favor, which against Adept he shouldn't be. He hasn't killed any real drones. He's maybe gotten a couple of kills, and yet I think 4 in total right now. Yeah, 4 drone kills in total. Very minor amount of lost mining time as well. Like usually at least you can stop the, the drones from mining for a little bit. But even that's not really been a factor here this time around, so. That blink coming through. Battery gates continue to come up. Just going to be having a hatchery coming about as well. And the Dropper Lord coming into play, the Roach speed coming through, and the Roach is going to head towards the other right-hand side. So, it's going to be seeing the Roach Ling moving across, having the blink on the way out. More Stalkers getting warped in as we speak. Obviously, Solar, the counterattack here that's likely to be pretty deadly. Stalkers don't have blink, which takes away one of the best parts of Stalkers. A few batteries. Not going to really make up for this amount of damage output differential. I don't even think we need the Queens in the Dropper Lord, to be honest. I think we're going to be fine without. GG gets called, and Solar takes a 2-0 lead in this best of 5. And it looks as though Solar might be just on his way to another clean sweep in this event. All right. In that case, guys, we go into game number 3. I say another sweep. I don't mean for Solar, because he did lose a map to Lemon, but obviously it's another sweep today. We just had that. We honestly, today's game started up here. Obviously, Moscow Coliseum was great. And actually, we came into OSC Championship with a couple of pretty darn cool games as well, I would say. I really thought for Jimmy, Arogfire was a lot of fun. One of our few 5-game series we've had in the event so far. Mixu Baby Marine was pretty fun as well. And then we've just had some favorites kind of doing the favorite things. The underdogs have not really been able to step up the last couple of series. On top right. Our red Zerg player here is Solar. Taking on the blue Protoss in the bottom left. It is going to be Rebellion. Solar up 2-0 right now. I'm still building, getting the assimilator coming in. Just going to have our drone from Solos coming across the map, so maybe something sneaky from him as he comes down to this bottom left-hand side. Hatch coming online. Again, the gate coming up, the probe coming through. Hatchery is going to drop into position. The probe does not get there to stop it, so that is going to be hatchery production starting. And these few probes are just going to have to try and deal with this, so 5 probes, 6 probes is fine. I honestly would like to see a Zealot starting. I think the Zealot's very good because the Zealot does let you also kind of go across the map with a little bit of power as well after. Like, you don't need the Zealot with 6 workers. Like I said, I just think the Zealot gives you a lot of bonus. And right now, you've been sat with like 200 minerals this whole time anyway. I mean, I guess in this case, you're going to kill this off fast enough to clean up and then take your expansion, so you kind of need the minerals, but again, it's a couple extra probes. We're down to 7 probes off minerals there to deal with. No, 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 no! Don't let the hatchery go down again. You kind of lose the game if the hatchery goes down a second time, so I'm trying to be very cheeky there to get it. But if it had worked, I mean, like I say, it's a game-winning move, because then you're just delayed way more than you ever should be. And you didn't build a Zealot, so you don't have that DPS to help you out either, so yeah, that would have been very bad. Maybe not quite game-losing, but definitely going to put you in a very difficult spot. 2 queens, 4 lings, couple of drones all coming up, the Nexus and the Assimilator coming by. The Adept is going to be finishing, the other Adept starting up. And this Adept just shades up the left-hand side. Going to see the drone is going to go for it. Blocks the hatch, or the extractor, sorry, and just means that the drone will be taken out. So, yeah, I mean, nice little catch there. Yeah, Rebellion doing a lot of the little things, right? I mean, he had one of the correct responses to this. Like I say, I kind of personally prefer the Zealot response, but it was an absolutely fine response to this, as long as that hatchery didn't go down a second time, which it didn't. So, yeah, I mean, you're doing a lot of the little things right, so that's a great starting point, and yet there's still a ways to go here in this game 3. Depth shading around, the queen in the front on the natural. Thanks to be coming through. Drones in production, hatchery building as well. Twilight Council is going to be building from Rebellion, and the Adept of Rebellion going across to the upper right side of the map. So Rebellion continues across to the upper right. Away we go. Trying to see what's going on. Adepts going to get into the natural, where we're going to be able to get 1 drone, 2 drone, 3 drones. Nice and easily. 3 workers go down. It's actually Rebellion on the counterattack so far. Doing well for himself. 3 drones, 2 lings. We'll lose 1 Adept. I'll lose both Adepts. Not bad, though. 3 drones for 2 Adepts is always a win in the Protoss' book. Like, it's nice to get rid of the Adepts, because now they're not dealing any more damage, but like I say, 3 drones is a little bit on the expensive side to just have gotten rid of them, so things going to move about. Dark Shrine, Robo Facility coming up, charge on the way through. We do have our lings settling down. Again, the Rotron building here. Just going to have our Overlord coming through the bottom side. Things will set out the front again. Prism and the charge coming through. The Dark Shrine is going to finish very shortly. A couple of gateways still coming online. Rotron about to finish from Solar. Feelings get punched back up the left side as well. So they're just going to get chased away again. Dark Shrine coming through. The extra gates coming up. Builds on the third. The Fueling's going to get there. A couple of Adepts just going to be there as well. Push those lings back the other direction. Charge building. Nexus and probes coming through. The ling's going to get back down to the bottom. We'll be going around the left-hand side, and again, just setting ourselves into position here as the ling's going to get a little wrap around, and the Adepts going to get grabbed. PT going to grab another couple of lings as well. It's just going to be able to swipe through that. As there is our shield battery continuing to come up as well. The Lair coming through, Roach is on the way, DT morphs into the Archons, and that's going to be where Rebellion tries to do some more damage in this game. I mean, 5 Adepts died so far for 17 Lings. It's really about equal on the resources lost. Prism goes around that right-hand side. Just going to be seeing the couple of Archons going to hit the Overseer for a few moments. So Overseer takes some damage. A couple of Queens going to be there. Hit the Prism back. Extra Roaches join up down this right-hand side. The Prism moves away. Again, Roach speed. A couple of Roaches. The Overlords all coming through. Another Overlord popping out. I'll follow the Archon drop and see if we can find anything extra here over the next few moments. Coming across the map, a couple of Archons are going to go and hit the Overlord, so Overlord falls, Cryptumic dies. Archons load back together, Spire on the way up as well. And yeah, Evolution Chamber, Hatchery, Overlords and Roaches, Roach speed as well coming about. The Lings are on the left-hand side. Back through the top, over to the right side, +1 and Blink. Building from Rebellion. Again, a couple of gates just coming online. For the moment. Again, the Spire halfway done. The Roaches, the Roach speed coming through as well. These Zerglings in the center from Solar are going to be running by. The couple of Archons going to drop in. Just going to be having these Zealot again warped in too. Extra units getting warped in right now as the Overseer of Solar goes up the left. Army coming about. There's going to be a few more Zealots warping in once again as the Zerglings just going to run to the front. There's going to be a Zealot in position there. Turns that around very comfortably. A couple of Lings taking shots. The Roach Ravager coming through. Going to go chasing after those Immortals. Couple of force fields go down. Corrosive Files just knock down some of these force fields. The Roaches and Ravagers will still try and move through. So we are going to be seeing a couple of those Zealots going down. A couple more force fields get popped for the moment. And now we're just going to be seeing our army continue to chase. I mean, Solar has a lot. He's going to force the recall. He's going to kill a bunch of units on the recall. He just about keeps that Archon alive. It's going to drain a lot of battery energy as Solar might just not stop. He might just keep on coming. A lot more Stalkers warp in. The Roach Ravager coming through. Mutalisks in production currently from Solar. So even going to have the Muta follow-up. Which is not bad because Roach Ravager on its own may not end this game. This is not a terrible army from Rebellion. I mean, it's almost half the supply. But it's not a terrible army composition. It's just lacking in numbers. So, you know, if you ever learn anything about casting StarCraft 2, it's don't doubt techie Protoss units against Roach armies. So yes, I like the Mutas for a different way to maybe close out the game, right? The 7 on the map is not an overcommitment, it's just a few. I mean, I think Solar's already in pretty comfortable control as he starts to work onto that 4th base. Solar's going to blink across. This Roach Ravager will be forced to fight. We drop a couple force fields in. Rebellion will do his best to try and weather the storm here, as now we do see the dive onto the army. The Immortals are dropping, and Solar is going to kill pretty much everything. Those few Stalkers may be able to get away for a little bit longer, but if you reinforce and sit behind the natural, obviously Solar's new target should be the 3rd base. He's already knocked down the incoming 4th, and I mean, we're sub 100 supply Protoss right now with not a lot of life going on. Solar actually backs up. He's going to get reinforcements because he did lose a fair amount over the course of this, but he achieved so much during this time that it was absolutely fine for him to, you know, need to step back and to wait a little bit here, essentially. So it's just where we go. Another Ravager morphs in. Extra Lings coming across. We'll see these rocks going to get jumped on. Roach Ravager Ling going to get those rocks right now. A few extra Bane's going to morph in as well. It's going to knock those rocks down. Infestation Pit coming through. The Hatchery is producing. This army coming down from Solar to the bottom side. Stalkers and the Immortal gathering up together. There's a cancel on the Nexus. The 4th will not be allowed. The Mutas are going to hit the 3rd, force a warp in there. And Solar is going to slam his army into Rebellion on the front of this base. So in we go. Roach Ravager Bane going to start pushing through. Double Corrosive Files. The Cybernet Export taking damage. It's Gonna see how Stalker's taking some shots. The Mu's gonna flip around and go after the cannon. I mean, yeah, if Bane's gonna hit the mineral line. Take your pick of how this game ends. There's a lot of ways. Probes blowing up, Muta's harassing, Roach Ravager killing. Again, just one of those lower bracket matchups where we've got a very, very good player in Solar taking on someone that's grinded this year in the OSC system in Rebellion, and it's unfortunately just a little bit of a mismatch. I get sad about these series because I really feel like you see players like Rebellion, I'm like, man, if Rebellion just dropped into a different part of the bracket, I feel like he could have given us a really cool series against some of the other guys. He's just been really unlucky to meet first Nightmare, then Solar. Like, that's a really unfortunate combination. Like, that's a 1-2 punch of probably 2 top 10 players in this, 32-player tournament. And you just meet 2 of them back-to-back rather than getting your shot at one of the lower down guys in the first place. So, unlucky, but that is the way of tournaments sometimes. Like I say, we'll continue to keep an eye on Rebellion, some of the tournaments that we're casting. We actually have jumped into some of his games here and there. For some reason, I keep thinking he's a Terran player, and then I join his games and I'm like, oh, it's PvP. But we have casted him here and there. A fun player. Hopefully keep seeing him some events, and hopefully see him back for the next year of OSC as well. Alright guys, that's our day of StarCraft 2 concluded. Let's have a look at the OSC Championship bracket and see where we are at after another day. After 4 days of OSC Championship action, and we will be resuming this next week as well. So, in the upper bracket, we currently have, obviously, Beyond and Dark, very highly seeded. They start in the upper bracket semifinals. They've not had to do anything yet. That's their reward for having a great year in the OSC circuit. Hero, Max, Bax, Geralt, and Shin started in the round of 8 of the upper bracket, and they will now play Skillers, Hua, Christiana, and Clem, who advanced through there. Obviously, we had the winner bracket play the first couple of days this week. The last couple of days, we've been focused on the lower bracket. The entirety of lower bracket round 1 has concluded. We're saying goodbye to Lemon, Lunacy, DNS, Art, Baby Marine, and Fujumi, unfortunately. And we've also said goodbye to Rebellion, Mindar VK, Honmono, and Young Yakov in round 2, which leaves 4 round 2 lower bracket matchups remaining, and then on to lower bracket round 3. And at that point, we're already top 16 in the tournament. We eliminate a lot of players here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not top 16, it's top 18 because of these 2 guys. Yes, I forgot. But yeah, get into the serious part. So I'm not here. Like I say, first of all, I'm not here this weekend. I'm away for a Pokemon event. I'll be back on Monday with WardiTV Mondays. And then next week with Big Leo League Cup and their tournament playoffs continuing. And then on Thursday, so there'll be one OSC Championship day that will not be me streaming. And I imagine that will be a continuation of the lower bracket. So some combination of these matches down on the bottom side and so on from there. And then when we come back on Thursday with OSC Championship, I'm sure we'll be covering something down here somewhere or so. I guess we can't do too much here without doing up here though, so yeah. So yes, OSC Championship continues next week, guys, so I will be back for that on Thursday. There'll be one stream without me one other day, and we have a couple of OSC Champion streams next week as well. And again, they're going to be comboed with like Leo League Cups and stuff, so there's a lot going on. So thanks so much for watching. Like I say, I'm not here again until Monday, where I'll be back with the WardiTV Monday event, so I look forward to seeing you guys on Monday. Update my stream title to away for the weekend, back Monday. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Once more, as always, like, subscribe, and all the rest. Help support the channels. The numbers do mean a lot. And if you're really enjoying, you can obviously support further as well. But I do urge you to check out the OSC Indiegogo page. Support this year's OSC Championship on their Indiegogo page. I put the link in the Twitch chat just now. You can check that out if you do so wish. And yeah, go show some love to the OSC Championship. Help raise some prize money for the players that are taking part and giving us entertaining matches in this tournament. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And I will see you guys next time for more StarCraft 2. Like I say, I'll be back on Monday. I'll see you there. And yeah. But it's a fun week next week. WardiTV Mondays, a full week of Leo League Cup playoffs with some OSC Championships sprinkled in. Gonna be fun. And at some point, I want to catch up on Masters Coliseum stuff as well. So we just got a lot going on. It's gonna be fun. You guys have a great day. Set of ads on the outro. Once the ads are done, I'll host someone up and spread the StarCraft love elsewhere. You guys have a good one. Bye.